Hey, what's up, everybody? We live yet? What's up? This is J Rocks right here. Today I'm gonna be with two special guests right here. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Sure. I'm Titan Fragrances. I'm out of Houston, Texas. It's a pleasure being here. Thank you for inviting me.
I'm Lincoln, Ionia, Michigan. Once again, shout out to Callie for this second time with him. Appreciate it very much. So,
Yeah, hopefully we'll get to do these a lot more often. Hopefully this won't be the last time.
Oh, most definitely.
Especially in a time like this where people, they're not going out much, they're staying at home and stuff. Some people wanna, they wanna find ways to kill time, and this is a great way to do it. Live streaming, joining the live chat, and so forth.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Jesus?
There's the man.
How
what's
you
up,
doing?
Jesus?
Now I know that no, you're one of the first persons that reached out to me when I joined the fragrance groups. I joined the groups on Facebook. I believe it was Jensen's,
Yeah.
and I posted. I still remember this. I posted a picture of. I go. I just bought these two fragrances. I'm looking to expand my collection, and the two fragrances were Dolce Gabbana, the one which I already had, and I had finished
Okay.
the bottle, so I bought a new bottle, and it was Burberry London. So I went with things I was already kind of familiar with,
Yeah.
and you were one of the first ones that told me, hey, yeah, grow your collection, so forth. Welcome to the community. So I always remember that. I always remember you. And you showed me a picture of your show. I was like, what the hell? And I told
Yeah.
myself, like, oh, I'm never gonna have that many fragrances. Like, I don't need all that. And here we are a year later. I got a whole bunch too.
Yeah. It gets crazy, man. I never thought that way either. Because for me, I transitioned from I was doing like knives. I was just looking into knives, had some fixed blades and stuff, and then I started getting into more watches. Oh, are we there? Did I lose you? Hold on, hold on.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's the background. Do you guys have one of the other windows open?
Yeah, no, I just my thing keeps shutting down. Okay, so I went into watches and I was like, okay, because kind of I'm always big on accessories. Just something my dad, would say. Like I have a pocket knife as a young man. Now I got a pocket knife, a wristwatch. Then then it was just getting, now mind you, it's getting expensive, right? Watches. Uh, Now I'm over here spending a ton of money on cologne, so it really didn't get any cheaper. It just, but I can get more stuff for my money, I guess you could call it. So I started doing that, and just started finding this whole community, and I was just like, oh, cool. And then like I went from a few, and all of a sudden it started growing and growing and growing, and then after a while, I was like, well, shoot, I thought a lot. I was watching the same guys you all were, everybody, and I still do as much as I can. And my whole take was like, well, maybe if I can just give some of the things that I've done, some of the things that I've kind of not necessarily, I can't say I've regretted too much, because they're all part of, what the collection is now. And so I was just, man, maybe my opinion may help somebody, someone like
Yeah,
me.
yeah. The more opinions is always the better. That way you could gauge off each one and see
Yes,
how yours differs or is the same as somebody else's opinions.
most definitely.
Definitely. And yeah, when you start collecting, you didn't even know it before you know it, you're like, I guess I'm a collector. I already have 20 bottles, that? Yeah, it just takes over.
Yes. Oh man.
How about you, Lincoln? How'd you join the group? You find out through the groups or you find out through YouTube or
That's a good question, man. To be honest, I don't even remember. um, I mean, I've always been into fragrances, probably since I was about 16. My dad gave me a. I'll save it, for our five fragrances. But he gifted me a bottle for Christmas, man, and that was became my favorite fragrance since I was like 16 years old. And I don't know. I just ran across a group one day, and kind of to recap on what you said about Jesus, it was funny because he had to reach out to me too. We talked about fragrances. I kind of sent him a picture of a bunch of random accounts that I had, and the same thing happened to me. Like you said, he's showing me his collection, man, and I just, I laughed at it because his collection was growing and his was large in comparison to mine. But I
yeah,
mean, I don't know. I think I just stumbled upon the group, and it just kind of took off from there.
That's awesome. Yeah.
yeah, thanks, man. Good looking out. Yeah, go ahead, share it till we get a few people watching. Get we could feed off the chat and answer some questions and so forth. Okay, now on this video today, what we're gonna do is we're really gonna talk about five fragrances we plan on wearing for April. Doesn't mean they're the only five we're gonna wear, but it's just why we kind of targeted as ones we're gonna aim to wear more this month. So I guess I'll start, and I'm gonna start with this one I just recently got, and I
Okay.
smelling this back in the days. This is Kenneth Cole Black.
Hmm.
It has like a nice orange smell to it. So I go right now that we're spending a lot of times indoor. I was like, I might as well start wearing this because I remember this not lasting very long. So that I'm gonna wear it indoors and give it some wear, maybe drop a review or whatever later. So this is one I'm gonna be wearing a lot of. Kind of remember what it smelled like. I know it has that strong orange note, which is not a. It doesn't really smell like a synthetic orange. For what it costs, it smells like a pretty good orange scent.
Good cheapy. Good
Yeah,
old.
good, nice, cheapy. Just the longevity is not really there. It's like 4 hours.
Yeah.
So what's the price range on that one?
Yeah, this one's about. I think this one was like $12, and the 100 mil is like 20.
Oh yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, so it's it's if you could get them around 20, 25, those are like I consider kind of a cheapy fragrance. It's a nice smelling one. Like I said, it's just the projection. It's I wouldn't say it's that versatile. It's daytime and definitely summer wear or indoors.
That might work well for an office that's kind of sensitive to smells. It sounds like, like where they don't like you wearing a lot of stuff. So
Yeah, it's not too overbearing, not too
loud.
powerful where it's gonna offend anybody or give anybody headaches or anything like that. And it's also, this is perfect if you're still young because it's cheap and you could use this for high school, junior high, and you're gonna smell nice.
Oh yeah. So that a lot. I think a lot of times there's colognes and fragrances that have their place. They don't all. They shouldn't all be a beast. Like they
Yeah,
don't have to all be in your face. I like wearing fragrances all the time. Like when I go to bed. Like if I'm going out. Even if I'm any events, whether and like you take instance like a funeral, you're not gonna go super loud with something crazy.
yeah,
Why?
you're not gonna wear something sexy or yeah,
Exactly.
that's why that's the beauty of this. There's so much variety, not just in scent DNA, but in performances. Sometimes you
Yeah.
want something that just lasts a little while. Sometimes you want something that lasts all day, depending on what you're doing. And sometimes you want something that really projects. Sometimes you want something that's a little more reserved.
Hmm.
It all depends on your personality and your occasion as well.
Oh
Because,
yeah.
for example, um, like when I'm around my mom, whenever I go visit her or whatever, she does not like strong fragrances. Like something that's very light. Like I'll show you one of these in a while. It's not our strongest projection, but for her it's more than enough. She can smell it like from the next room. She's like, "Oh, what are you wearing? Oh, that one's nice." And if I'm wearing something I find to be like, "Oh, I can smell this one,"
Hmm.
then for her it's way too strong, and she's complaining like, "Oh, go take a shower, take that off." Like, so it's
Sounds like
just
too.
yeah. Some people just have a
What's up,
strong
Medina?
reaction to not necessarily just fragrances, just to smells in general. They could smell stuff a mile away, like a
Yeah.
dog, like those hound dogs. And some people need like a beast mode so they could smell it.
Yeah, I hear you. Um, well, I went with this. This is a recent acquisition. You can put it here. This is a Green Valley by Central Obsessions. I've been kind of on a kick on some of these indie houses and clone houses and stuff, but this is supposed to be their take on Green Valley by Creed. Uh, Definitely, it's very green. I mean, just like I never smelled ooh, it's a blast, but it's super green, super green, super. I've heard comments before, just looking through the groups, was saying that kind of this what they figured green Irish tweed would smell like or should smell like because it's so green, but
Okay,
clean.
well, what's the name of that one?
It's called Green Valley. It's his interpret. It's Kevin's interpretation of Green Valley by Creed. It's a clone of it. And for the price point on Central Obsessions and like genre and some of these, I'm sure I hadn't tried Alexandria and Babylon, all these other ones, but I'm definitely going to do it. Price point is right on. I mean, it's really inexpensive. I think they start out at like $20 or so.
Yeah,
For
yeah, the prices are not bad on it. I ordered a few myself. Have you tried the Green Valley, the original?
no, that's what I'm saying. I hadn't tried it. I've seen it a few times, like on sale. I don't even know. It might be even discontinued, I think. But so I just grabbed that one. I didn't want to pony up 100 and something dollars or so for it. So I just went ahead and shop for a clone of it, and I'm happy with it for
Yeah,
this
yeah.
time of
Because
year.
I was gonna say I got a Dolce Gabbana velvet leather,
Mm-hmm.
the clone from Central Obsessions, and I really like the way it smells. It was nice. So I wore it a few times, and I was like, you know what, I gotta buy the real thing because this one smells nice, and I want to see how accurate it is. And when I recently got the original,
Yeah,
and it's a lot different. Like I feel like there's a lot of difference. If you're looking for an exact clone of it, it smells totally different, but it smells good. I would
yeah,
even argue, depending on your taste, depending on the weather, basically for me, some days I like one over the other. Some days I
yeah,
like the Tochico, the Central Exceptions version, and some
yeah,
days depending on what I'm looking for, because I feel they're that different that it just depends which one you want. But if you're looking for a clone of it, I was like, nah, I go, this is not like when I got the original, I smelled it and I was like, wow, this isn't what I was expecting because it doesn't smell like the
yeah,
Central Sessions one. But it was nice. It is a nice scent, and I do like that. That's one. I will still buy another bottle when I finish mine from Central Obsessions because it's different. It's not the same as the original one.
yeah.
So I would want another one once I finish this one. One thing also is that on that one, the sprayers are beast mode. So when I spray it, I'm going through the juice pretty quick, which I don't mind because I like spraying heavy sometimes too.
Oh yeah, he definitely is doing a good job. For the price point, I can't beat it. I mean, I think it's a good buy for me.
So you said that Green Valley. The Green Valley is the original, or Green Valley is the clone?
Green Valley. Well, it even tells you it's our formulation. I don't know, like you can see right on the thing. It'll say our formulation of Green Valley. I'm going
Okay,
over.
and Green Valley's by Creed. You said.
It's
Yeah, it's by Creed.
was by Chris. I thought it was a bond number 9.
No, no, it's a Creed inspiration. He took it off of Creed.
Okay, okay. I
Yeah,
didn't know that. I hadn't heard of that Creed yet.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that one either. That's crazy.
I
So
think
they
it's a
got pretty
gold
good.
one. So there's those
How's the
gold things.
performance on it?
It's pretty decent. It's hard for me, like I said on some of my videos. It's hard because I'm a lineman, so I work on the power lines and stuff. And there are days where I'm around. We're digging a hole manually many times. So I mean, and in our heat, like it's been the other day it was like 80 degrees or something, but with the heat, with the humidity, it was shoot, man, we were sweating like crazy. So there's really not a lot of scents that last all day. Now on my clothes, I change shirts, when I'm doing hot work and then doing that, or just long sleeve so I don't sunburn too much. But so this was about average. I think it's like 4 hours that I got. Like by lunchtime, of course, like I said, I've been working, so it's kind of hard for me to say on this one in particular. I did just do a test today. I had their take on Elysium, and I had Genre's take on Elysium, and the Genre one definitely outlasted the Essential Obsession one, at least the one that his take on Elysium, which I do think Kevin was talking about reformulating it to give it more life, more longevity. It would change the scent profile a little bit, but for the price point, I think if you're going to be in an office, get it, put it in your office. I mean, it'll work great, but it's very green. You got to like green, clean scent. I mean, it's like if you're in a valley of just greenness, I guess that's the best thing. And
The
it's really
Rolling Green
pretty.
Hills.
So
He's
is it
got
like? Is it sweet? Does
So
it have
New Zealand.
sweetness to it? Or-
no, it's not sweet. It's definitely not. It would remind me of something like an aspen, maybe like just even
What's up, Sanchez?
David Sanchez. There's no sweetness to it. It's just more of like a fresh cut grass kind of green scent.
Yeah, whenever I think green
Spacious.
scents, I think like someone out of their 20s, like a little I wouldn't say mature, but like not like in your early 20s, like when I smell vetiver and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. It's more of a grassy green, and so. But like I said, I liked it. I'd heard the comparison it to being, in the same lines of like Green Irish Tweed in a sense, and I have that one and some of its clones, and I just wanted something maybe a little different. It definitely, like I said, is a lot greener than it's still fresh green, but not like Green Irish Tweed totally.
Have you guys tried that chess bond number 9 chess?
I've heard
Medina
that
says
one.
it smells
Good.
better than Green Irish Tweed.
That
Yeah,
one I haven't.
I've heard about that. I've heard it that it does is better, but I haven't tried it yet.
Yeah, I have never smelled either one of the two. I hear Green Irish Tweed is like cool water, which I do like cool water. I think it's a nice balance of like how it has aquatics and green notes, or it's kind of mature, but it also has a youthful vibe to it where you could pull it off on no matter what age you have. It's very versatile, in my opinion. The cool water. So if Green Irish Tweed is like that, I would imagine it works for a lot of situations as well and a lot of age groups.
Yeah, it's definitely versatile. I think for the green, I have a green Irish Tweed, and it's versatile. I do think it leans a little more not as aquatic as cool water. But it's definitely smells of quality. Maybe it lasts pretty decent. I think. I don't know if the
What up,
senses,
Sam?
over reformulations and stuff is hit it or not. But I like it. It's a versatile beast for sure. You could wear it anytime, anywhere, any ages. So, but
Right. And what's your number one, Lincoln?
My number one, for my number one spring fragrance is probably honestly going to be Gucci Parome 2. And I find it funny, because I've hyped this up. I've hyped this up to the max. It's been my all-time fragrance, and this is just not my favorite scent because of the way that it smells. But I also enjoy it because that was the fragrance that I was talking about before we entered the room that my dad got for me when I was like 16 years old. So I don't think that necessarily is the reason why it's my favorite. It's definitely just the scent itself. But I mean, man, I don't know. It's light, it's fresh, it's sweet. You got that tea-based scent. I don't really know what to say about it, honestly, but I just love it, and it brings back a lot of memories to me, man. It's versatile. I don't know about wearing it in the summer, maybe towards the end of summer when things start to cool down. Wintertime would probably be nice. Fall, spring. I mean, I
You
don't
would
know.
wear that? I never smelled that. So you would wear that in like in wintertime, like in cold, in windy weather?
Uh, I mean, I wouldn't say like a windy winter, but more just like just your regular winter day. Kind of a relaxed day. Walk out, sun's bright. There's a bunch of snow. I would definitely wear it during the winter though. So
Okay, cool. So you think that's like a would that work as an office scent? Because to me, in my experience with tea fragrances, they're not super strong. They're a little more reserved, so they can work in they lend themselves to work in an office performance wise.
yeah, I think so.
I don't know. I heard one person say that this was actually like a pretty safe office scent back in the day. It kind of killed my vibe when he said that, to relate it to an office scent, which there's nothing wrong with that. But I mean, I think this would do this completely a safe scent. It would work anywhere, not offensive to anybody. It's a very gentle, subtle scent. And as what Pat Jones said, you can see he's in the live. He said this scent is very quiet, but it says what it needs to. So.
All right, cool. Yeah, that's a good way to describe a fragrance when they're not the strongest projector, but they do what they need to do. Sebastian Sands in the house. Is that the Noa Cruz?
How
Ooh,
you
we
doing,
got a
Sebastian?
popular guy here.
Man, I had no idea. Yeah, but I do like that one. I have it, and I think it, like he says, it does really well for office. It is relaxing to me. I actually have it in one of my videos as a bedtime scent.
Yeah,
The keynote. Like
definitely.
I'm the kind of guy that right before bed I take a shower no matter what. Like if I came home like on before all this craziness, after a long day's work, I get home and we need to go grocery shopping or whatever. I'm gonna shower up, freshen up, throw some scent on. But even if I just went for an hour to the grocery store and I come back before I go to bed, I take a shower again. That's the way I am. I want to be like fresh out of the shower for bed. So I take a shower
You,
and then I put
you
on my
want
bed.
excuses to keep putting more colognes on.
That may be it, but yeah, that I 2-3 colognes a day, but that's just me. So I do like that one. It's really the tea note in it is just I think it's just really, really done well. And it's so mellowing and relaxing. So anyone out there
Yeah,
who's, feeling claustrophobic or just wants some good vibes, it's great aromatherapy in my opinion. You just
it is.
put that on. Really
I would
good.
agree. It's super relaxing, like you said. Yeah, I don't know, super relaxing. The cinnamon is definitely one of my favorite parts of the notes in it, and this, the cinnamon, the tea mixture. I believe there's a little bit of cedar as well. As to touch on what Callie said, performance definitely is weak. It's on the weaker side. Projection and longevity isn't necessarily there. But
Mhm.
kind of like what you guys said earlier, you don't always need a banger. It's nice to just have a nice subtle scent once in a while and not, necessarily being loud per se. So
Yeah, yeah, especially depending on the situation and around the type of people you're around. Because sometimes, like if you're in an office meeting and your boss is there, you don't want to be having like, something super strong, like 1 million or something. You
Go
want
prolong.
something more classy, more reserved. You don't want to be, he's going to be like, what the hell? This guy thinks he's at a club or something.
Yeah. Well blended though.
just to touch on this fragrance, so did you guys see? Have you guys seen the prices lately on Gucci Parome too?
No,
No, I heard it's
I know it's
discontinued
discontinued.
though. And since
Finally
it's a Gucci brand, I can only imagine.
Yeah, it's. I think this
discontinued.
is like the second discontinuation, technically, like kind of like the second or third discontinuation, man. And I've seen some people out there in the community trying to skyrocket the prices on this and jack them up. And being my favorite set and being that there necessarily hasn't been a bunch of hype around it, it just kind of sucks to see people put such a tax on a fragrance that simply because it's discontinued money versus people actually enjoying the fragrance for what it is, man. And man, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like that with any. That's part of collecting. It's expected with any type of collecting. Once something, it's the whole capitalism thing, supply and demand. Like once something goes like for example, a lot of these comic books, if some of them are old, and the older they are, the cornier the stories are. The stuff from the 90s, 2000, it gets better. But you got stuff from the 60s where it's very childish, that it's because it was targeted towards kids. So those stories from like X-Men stuff like that, they're so corny. But yet those books, since they're older, they're worth a
Yeah.
lot more. And when you buy them, you're like, this story sucks. But it's the whole collector aspect, and it's the same with fragrances. Is a lot of times it's not about the scent, it's about you want the bottle. It's the bottle is no longer exists, so they don't want a clone. They want the bottle for collector purposes.
Well, if it's your scent that you really like, you can use like I know of a place that had the smaller bottles, and it was relatively retail. It was a small perfume shop that I'd seen. As you go out, you go look for them. I'd seen them, and they carried quite a few of them, but I guess they weren't up to snuff with what's all discontinued or the rarity. Because I'd seen a bunch of different ones. That's where I go to a lot of times if I needed to grab a fragrance that it wasn't on Fragrance Net, it wasn't at Macy's or Sephora, or or it's going to be a super high on eBay. Some of those little mom and pop shops that just, have all these fragrances. And that's sometimes, so if you are needing a backup, I'll see if I can find it for cheap, just, whatever I pick
Yeah,
up.
I've seen some people, that are still willing to let them go for reasonable prices. It's just those certain people, that kind of skyrocket it and then kind of
Yeah.
ruin it for the people who do enjoy it.
Yeah, I hear you.
And I'd have to agree with Patrick too. I'd say Gucci Parome too does kind of leave and come back throughout the day. It definitely stays there, but it's definitely subtle.
Hmm.
What about this question? Are you guys wearing niche while in quarantine? Are you guys wearing any expensive stuff when you know you're not going out, like in a day, you're just gonna be at home?
Yeah, price doesn't dictate what I wear like that day. Like I really don't. Uh, with the pretty good sizable collection, it's like I'm not ever gonna go burn through really any bottle. Like that's kind of hard
Yeah,
because I'm
that's a great
and
answer. That's my answer too. When I first had one or two niche bottles, I was like, these are for the weekend. Saturday and Sunday is when I'm gonna be at parties, clubs, like around a lot of people. I wore
yeah,
my expensive stuff, and I only saved it for those days. And as you start growing more and more collection, like you start getting more and more bottles, I'm just like, I'm the same thing. Like it's like I'm never gonna finish them. So who cares when I wear it? I'll wear it just to watch Netflix. Like who gives a
yeah,
shit? Like,
yeah.
'cause I'm not
And
gonna
that's
finish it
a
anyway.
lot of the fragrances, especially like that bring memories back, or whatever. Sometimes you just want that scent, and so really won't, especially if you're indoors, really won't matter which style, which type. Now, if you're gonna go like for me, if I'm gonna go outside and it's 95 degrees outside, I'm not gonna wear like a something like a pure Havana or a
Dolce
pure Malt.
Gabbana, the one.
Something, yeah. No,
That's
I'm not gonna wear something that's gonna get kind of soury or whatever. So, but yeah, I wear whatever.
funny.
Yeah, that's the same here. But let me get to my second bottle. This one I got it about 2 months ago, maybe. I haven't even gave it a full wear yet. I've only sprayed it a few times on my arm to smell it. It has a nice orange note on the top. It's almost like a creamy orange popsicle. You know those popsicles that are orange on the outside, but inside it's like vanilla.
Yeah.
It's like vanilla on the inside and it's only orange on the outside, and it gives
All
a
creamsicle drops.
yeah, those icicle pops. That's I get that type of orange from this. It's pretty nice. I haven't seen where it goes because I haven't gave it a full wear to see what it does during the whole day and during the heat and so forth. So I don't know. I haven't given it a full word, so I have to dissect it more. But I'm enjoying it so far, and I've been trying it to. I mean, I'm gonna start trying it. 'Cause I want to see a few orange fragrances with orange notes, and see what they can do, what different things they do with the note itself. It's nice smelling though. I could see this being perfect spring fragrance, and getting I could see that being a compliment getter.
Which one was that one? What's the name?
This is Seville Labo from L'Artisan Pure.
Okay.
L'Artisan Pure, and the bottle looks killer too.
Yeah, bottle looks nice.
Yeah, it's the cap is super heavy. It's like those Parfums de Marley tops that are
Yeah.
all metal. Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
same. It's very high quality, and that's a niche brand, and they're like $60. They're very affordable. I haven't really checked performance and so forth yet though. But if you like a nice citrusy scent, that one's kind of citrusy, but it leaves a little like it almost gets creamy.
Yeah. Almost leaning gourmandy. That's cool.
I'm gonna get a few citrusy. I mean, I'm pretty familiar with citrusy scents. That's what I wear more often around here, or aquatics, just because
Yeah.
I find those to be stuff I could wear the majority of the year over here where I stay. And I'm pretty sure over there in Texas is the same as hot the majority of the year. So they
Yeah.
get more use than your thick dense fragrances.
Yeah, most definitely. So like I always look forward to fall and wintertime, especially like 'cause I can break out the heavier stuff because the rest of the
Probably
time
doesn't
it
get
really
enough use.
it doesn't work very well for me, you know.
Yeah. That's what I gotta do with mine. I got a few more heavy set fragrances that are have more volume to them. And I was like, you know what? I'm really not gonna be able to wear these a lot just because of the climate here. So I'm trying to um limit what fragrances I buy, how many I buy as far as thick dense notes go.
Hmm. Yeah, I hear you.
What was that one called again? You said.
It's called L'Artisan Seville Labo.
Okay, because I've seen people post stuff, about Lardison a lot. I just haven't personally tried anything. So, what's the
Yeah.
price range on that?
That one's I think it was $60 for I believe it's 100. I think it's 120 mils for $60.
It's
So
pretty
it's
good,
pretty cheap. It's not a bad deal.
right?
So I'm kind of going in the reverse way. I went from my fifth one, but this one doesn't get a lot of talking. I just it's Valentino Uomo Aqua. Okay. And it's just an aquatic take on the Valentino Uomo. And it just it's just really the iris is subtle, but it's so clean, it really if you like Valentino Uomo, yeah, you gotta hit.
That was gonna be my next pick as well. Spoiler alert.
Oh man, it's so good, man. It's just so clean. Man, I just man, I felt I got a back in when you first started out, I got a little thing of from Scentbird. I don't even know why I picked that one. And man, I sprayed it, man. I blew through that juice pretty quick. It just was I just like the cleanliness, the iris is subtle, and
Yeah, it's a very elegant freshy. Like it's a fresh
yes,
scent, but it has a lot of elegance to it.
exactly. Yeah, it's so high.
Yeah.
Just
And I
I think
find
that's
this
what
I find it, I don't know if you get this, but when you're wearing it and you're like doing stuff and your body heat's acting up, it gets stronger.
yeah, it really pushes a lot harder. Yeah, but man, it's a
Like yeah, it
gorgeous.
doesn't become beast mode or anything, but it becomes a little more noticeable than if you spray it and you're just sitting around, like you could hardly smell it. But when you're
Yeah,
doing stuff, it kind of helps it.
man, it's just like you said. I think you said it best. It's just really nice, really upscale.
Yeah, yeah, it does smell. Yeah, it smells upscale for a freshie because it has that iris, and then it has some It's a little bit of green to it, but like light, very light green notes to it.
Oh yeah,
It-
it's
Yeah,
so
Medina said that there's a tomato leaf note in there.
yeah, that might be what that is.
slight herbal.
Yeah, because it smells like something you were smelling on like my uncle. He has a little garden.
Yeah,
He has like watermelons and oranges and whatever, right? An orange tree and then like watermelons and other fruits there. And you know
yeah,
how all those plants, all those fruits, they grow with leaves and plants around them. I
yeah.
think he has tomatoes there too. And I get some of that smell in here from that
It's
little
a
garden he has.
gorgeous, gorgeous scent. The Valentino Uomo Intense gets all the love, it seems like, but all of I heard they're discontinuing all of those, or they're all discontinued, probably are now. So if you are in the neighborhood for getting them, the Uomo Intense, the Noir, the Aqua, pick it up if you have, if that's what you're into, because man, it is there. I think it's a pretty good line as a whole.
I haven't tried the original, but I think this one might be my I like the Absolute Noir.
Yeah,
And I like this one, but I think I might like this one more than the Noir now. I
yeah.
wasn't a fan of the Intense. I was kind of like if like so on it. I was like, it smells like quality, but I don't like the scent DNA in
Mm,
general. Like I just don't like the smell of it. And the more I try to convince myself that it was good and I liked it, and the
yeah.
more I work, the more I'm like, no, I just don't like it. Like
Not for everybody, that's for sure.
yeah, because sometimes you hear people talk about you rate. It was really hyped up when I first got into the groups and into
Yes.
YouTube. Everybody was praising how great it was. So I was like, maybe it's just me. And I'm like, no, yeah, it is good. It's just very refined, and like you're
Yeah,
trying to
no, I hear
convince
you.
yourself. And then the more I smell it, I'm like, no, no, I don't agree with it.
Yeah, Patrick is right. I mean, the longevity ain't what you would want, but most freshies typically aren't going to be long lasting. It just ain't going to happen
Yeah,
unless
yeah,
you're going
I'm
to
not
put in
gonna
all that
last very
Abraxane and
long.
stuff. But then it becomes a blue fragrance, and if that's what you want, more power to you. But it's just for some of these that they just aren't going to last that long.
Yeah, like this one, I was thinking about it. I was like, since a soft projector, I'm gonna start working out, and I might be using this as like a gym
Gym
fragrance.
scent.
And then I was like, hell no. I go, this is way too nice to be smelling like this at the gym. I go, this is like for something else.
Working out in a tux.
Yeah. I
Man,
even say that intense one is not my favorite. I'm not a big fan of that iris smell. It comes off old smelling to me. Like my grandma would smell that way.
hmm
But like like when I was a kid and stuff, like that's kind of a smell that I associated with like older people, like in their
Yeah.
70s or something. But it does smell very like it has a elegant feel to it.
I think those you have to be more in the dressed up part of it. Like if you really dress up, and then it will be more comfortable to wear it. Just confident wise, might be more comfortable. Like in jeans and a t-shirt, I would it wouldn't match. It wouldn't match
Yeah,
for me. I don't
I
think.
agree. Yeah, it's like wearing how you said, a tuxedo with some sneakers or some
Yeah.
Nikes.
Yes, exactly. I agree
It
on
just
that.
doesn't feel right. You're like, I don't know, something's wrong here.
Yeah. Unless you're on the movie Step Brothers.
That's a good movie. That had me cracking up.
Hey, speaking of Molecule One, Pat just brought up Molecule One. Have you guys put your nose on that at all by any chance?
I have not.
Me
I want.
either. From what I hear about it, that they say, I think isn't that the one they say that smells like nothing?
It's like Woody, I guess, in a
It's like
sense.
a
I've
woody
heard.
scent because I hear people say that it doesn't smell like anything, and that only other people smell it and not you. Then it's
I
kind of
see.
it's like $60 for something I'm not gonna smell. I'm like, nah, like I'll just pass.
From what
With that,
I've heard and what I've been told, basically it's just to kind of help support pore longevity and projection and gives it a boost.
Mhm.
Personally, I haven't tried it, but I've been curious to trying that a lot. So
I've heard you go and just buy like some ISOE Super, or at least back in the day, you go on Amazon, buy just some real cheap ISOE Super, and which is the main ingredient in that one. That's supposed to give you.
that might be what it is. Okay, so
Well, that's what in that Molecule One, everyone uses it to layer. I've never really done that, but I've heard that. I just
What is ISOE super? Like what kind of
It's like some
smell does
aroma
it have to
chemical.
it?
That they say I've never smelled it, so I can't. I'm only speaking from what I've heard. they say it's almost like a slight woodiness to it, I guess, and it's supposed to, again, the ISOE super in it is supposed to give it added staying power. And if you wear like that molecule one, they say it almost gives it like a woodsy, cedary kind of scent, I think. But like I said, I've never put my nose on it, so I'm just speaking out of what I've seen over the years.
Yeah, but and how other people have described it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I heard that molecule. Somebody told. I think I heard on some video it said it's. They didn't say woodsy. What they say? I think like a white paper smell or something like that. I have no idea. I never smelled it. I just remember somebody describing it like that. I was like, well, what does that smell like?
It's been on the list to buy, but it just has. I just can't see spending that much money on something that I'm just really not.
Shoot, you're a lineman, you said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can afford it, man. I know the linemen make that cash. That's the But shoot, man, I don't know if you guys mind me hopping out of my next spring fragrance. I got a little sample here. I actually have two of these. Fernando Medina Customs sent me this decant of what is this? Zaharoff Pour Home, man. And I actually, there you go. Another spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you took my next one out.
Yeah, that's a good one right there.
Man, it's so cool. Go ahead.
I was pretty on the fence about this actually for quite some time. I got a sample. I ordered one of the mini samples that they come in. The one thing I did like about that is when you spray it, obviously you got a small, sprayer. I forgot what they're called, atomizer, whatever. So everything's a little bit more concentrated in that one area versus, something with a bigger atomizer and a bigger spray. But
yeah, there's splashes everywhere.
It took me a long time, and we actually talked about this on the last live that we were on, and I brought this fragrance up. And I think I've come to the conclusion that I do like this fragrance. The main thing is another fragrance that reminded me of my father. Takes me back going to, his 32, 36 acre, property woods where we hunt, where he hunts. Man, it's not a big, fresh kind of guy, not really big into soapy. But there's something about this, that incense, that wearable oud, the juicy pear, the lavender. There's just something really nice about this. It's sweet, it's spicy, it's clean. I think it hits pretty much every category. And being with the fact that I feel like this is a fragrance that I can share with my father, and it reminds me, gives me some memories, man. It's hands down, this is something I'm going to put in my spring rotation. And shoot, it's banging longevity, it's got good performance. The prices are amazing. I think it's like $180 for a full bottle, and that's with the beard oil and the body solid, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. About $180 for all that.
Mm-hmm. For the quality that you're getting, this thing is a gem. I got the smaller one. I guess it's a 2 ounce or whatever, and it was like $95 or something like that. But the quality, like you said, it lasts, and there's nothing sharp about it. Everything's blended super well.
Yeah, it's very smooth. I was surprised that it was that it had that turn where it goes sweet. What do you think does that? You think it's like that black currant?
Man,
I personally don't know.
First spray it, it's like I like it, but when you first spray it, I got that lavender. Then as the wearing goes on, yeah, it goes a little sweet. It still smells good, but I'm just saying it changes in tone, if you will.
Yeah, it really is so good, though. I mean, when I first sprayed this, the first thing that I thought of was like, man, this is just another shower gel type fragrance, because I kind of get that, shower gel vibe from it. It's soapy, it's clean. Almost has like, you guys have smelled like charcoal body wash that's been out for a while now lately, right?
Yeah.
Kind of has that to it to me in a sense, but as for the sweetness, I personally don't know what it is. I pick up a lot of that juicy pear more than anything. And
probably that pear note.
And I was never a big fan of pear notes. I feel like they always tend to kind of turn sour on my skin, but this one was pretty on point.
Yeah, he definitely hit it out. And George, I don't know if y'all have had a chance to talk with him on his streams or just message him. He's super, super positive, super, just a great guy.
Yeah, very cool guy.
So,
well, shit, if I was flying all over the world day to day and, private,
hey, man, he definitely he's doing something right. So he's definitely a great guy, man. So it's definitely super awesome. And that was really the when I first was watching, I started watching reviews. Every guy was talking so good about him. I said, man, and then so I said, man, I'm gonna, it really, that was one of the biggest things because it was from top to bottom on reviewers. It was everybody was just the first thing
Yeah,
was
he's very cool. I messaged him a few times on Facebook and stuff like that.
mhm.
And yeah, he's how you said, you have good conversations with him. He's very upbeat, and also the fragrance is just good. It's solid. Like, the first thing that came to mind to me when I smelled it was I go, if Mancero had like a lavender type scent, 'cause I like Mancero fragrances,
The
and I was
meat.
like, if Mancero had a lavender scent, I go, this would be it. I get the similar type of performance from it, and I get some of that Mancera DNA vibe to it. I go, they just, and I was thinking about, I go, do they have a lavender? And I was like, I don't think they have one. I go, this would be it right here.
Yeah. Yeah, they do perform, and this one definitely for me, even in a long day's work, it's still it may, it's still pushing out, it's still doing good. So
So
definitely good.
where would you guys what kind of settings do you guys feel that this would do well in? Or where or when would you guys kind of tend to wear
For
this?
me, to me that's easily something I could wear as a signature scent, like every day or all year round, weather-wise, all year round. And for occasions, I think I would wear it casual or dressed up as well. I think I could. I just, the only time I wouldn't wear it is maybe if I'm out on a date or for dinner, because it doesn't feel like a sexy scent to me.
Yeah, it's a mature sin, I think. I think someone who's a boss, someone who's you look at the someone who's successful, someone who's
Yeah, definitely.
I definitely see it as I could, you could wear it casual. I think I definitely wouldn't be like a pool scent. Definitely wouldn't be a clubbing scent for me. It would be, if I'm gonna, unless I'm gonna go to like a cigar lounge or something, maybe and I'm dressed up, then something like that, yes. But dressed up, easy, casual, yes. But it's really, I think year round, like you said, I think it'll work in pretty much any weather. It's there's no sharp edges to me. It really is a great all around scent. But I think it would be best in a dressed up, business casual. But I could see using it every day. It's just that smooth to me. But I definitely not in flip flops and a t-shirt somewhere. I think at least
And
some.
boxers and flip flops
Yeah, if you're gonna be at home and that's what you want to wear, hey, I'd spray this on because
and
it
a
definitely.
bathrobe.
No, really though, that's what I feel like. I really feel like I would wear this, out of the shower, put on my robe. It's summertime, springtime, a little warm, step outside, enjoy the fresh air. This is
Read the
Yeah,
newspaper out next to the pool, chilling.
yeah, yeah. That's
it's
what
a
I
great thing.
I think I've worn this honestly most of the times. I've worn it more casual than anything, and in casual clothes just to hang out and relax. But
Good, good.
Yeah. I wore it a few times when I'm like in button ups and just jeans, but in button up shirts or something. Because when I go out, I like to, a lot of the time I like to wear vests over my button shirts. I
Hmm.
wear those vests. I just don't wear a tie or anything, but I like wearing the vest.
Yeah,
And so I wear it in those occasions. And I wear it a lot also, like just in a white t-shirt and jeans, just
yeah,
chilling it around here. Yeah, because it gives off a clean. I feel like I just shaved my head, just shaved,
yeah.
and I'm just chilling.
Barbershops, like, yeah, they call it a frigere style, kind of deal. So I see
Yeah,
that. Too.
yeah, I definitely get that vibe from it, where you just shave and you're just feeling good, you're just
Yeah.
kicking it.
yeah, I
Hmm.
feel like putting it on now. Honestly, it smells good. Definitely like it. Yeah.
The Hugh
That's
Hefner scent. I could definitely see Hugh Hefner rocking that. I
yep.
definitely.
You guys pick up that barbershop type scent from it at all? Or?
Yeah, I think anytime I smell
The
clean
lavender.
lavender, yeah, I get that barbershop feel to me. Because to me, a lot of times the way lavender is done, a lot of times it smells like a shaving cream, like very
Yeah.
soapy.
Yep. Yep.
But
True.
I like that. I like that scent. You know.
Yeah, I've always liked the smell of barbershops and that shaving cream they use. It's always been very like clean and also relaxing
Hmm.
sent to me. It puts me like in a comfort zone.
Yeah, I think Frugières are making more of a comeback now. People are really starting to go towards those a little bit more. In my opinion.
Yeah,
Well,
they're nice fragrances. I hope they do. I've always been a fan of that DNA. I remember back in the late '80s when I was a kid, they were kind of like the popular thing that even young, they were popular amongst the young group of people that were 20, 22. They
Hmm.
wore those a lot before the whole aquatics came in.
Yeah, yeah.
well, what did you say that was called a fougere scent or something like that?
They call it a fougere. That's how I may be saying it wrong. It's French, but fougères are normally your barbershop styles, really high in the lavender, uh, and that type of a DNA. And Medina may be right. It is kind of timeless. I mean, to me, it's like the gentlemanly kind of thing. Like you said, you just fresh got cut, fresh out of the shower, kind of
I can't
kind of
stop.
you know kind of good. You got all cleaned up, and
Yeah,
like you said, that smells is it can be a classic timelessness. And I think that's one of the things. It's not he made it modern. It's still classic, and it's still kind of like that barbershop style from back in the day, but it's made modern. I don't maybe it's with the oud or whatever he put in there,
Yeah,
but
I think it's because 'cause I know in the old school fragrances they a lot of times had that earthy vetiver type smell to them with the lavender, or they had oak moss. So I think
yes.
that when they added that with the lavender, it makes it smell more old school, and this
Yeah.
smells a little more like cleaner.
Yeah, it's more. I think it's just a modern take, and it really is, like you said, a timeless scent. Really good.
yeah.
What's next?
Let me go to my next. Okay, oh, I already did. I did this one, huh? And you already did yours too. So
Yeah,
then
yeah.
you're
We're
back
we're
up
cutting
again,
them
Lincoln.
down. Hey, great minds think alike, man.
Yeah, that's cool. We had a few of the same picks.
Yes. So what's the next one?
Now who's going next?
You again, Lincoln, because I already put this one, and he already did the Sahara.
Well,
Okay.
I'll skip on into this one. And I know this house gets kind of love hate. I don't know why, and I think Sense just did one on it too. He was doing a comparison, but man, I really do. This is a recent one. It's a Caribbean casino
Uh-huh.
by Dua, and Dua just and they're beast mode, I think. But what I like about their take on the casino, the Baccarat Rouge, it's not overly sweet, and it's not like the latexy thing that some people get off of the Baccarat Rouge sometimes. But really, the juiciness of the lime and in the Virgin Island water in this thing is just, man, it is so good. I mean, I want to go out to the pool and just spray this on and just chill. Give me, take me away now that we're all stuck in, or most people are stuck inside. That. And I love Virgin Island water. Don't get me wrong. It just is trash for performance. And I said it on my other video. Trash. It doesn't last. We went to Cancun last year, and I took that one with me, and I was dousing myself. And it was hot and humid, but it wouldn't last, man. Every time I got back to the room, it'd be like, all right, let's go back. Let's go do this. But these just are beast. And my buddy the other day, he was wearing Caribbean Poseidon in the Caribbean, I think it was, or something like that, which is their Ventus and Virgin Island water mix. And I have that one too, but he was wearing it. And when I smelled him, like he was from across the room, this before this whole quarantine type stuff. So we were all in a group. Now we're kind of isolated in pods, but he I just walked in the room and it was like pow, and I was like, God dang, he smells good. And I was thinking, man, that dude, he's got my scent. I got that one at home. I can't wear it to work no more. So I was just like, man, but he worked with us that day, and man, it was a beast. That thing lasted. Every time he walked by, it was just like, and I was like, golly, man, this thing is, and it was a hot day too. And even by the end of the day, after 8 hours, it was still like coming off pretty. The sillage was still great. It was, it was really awesome. So for me, this one right here, just I love Baccarat Rouge pretty good too, but the Virgin Island water in this, man, it just takes you away to the tropics. To me, it's like a vacation in a bottle. So I had to put that one down. I'm definitely supporting it. Or any of the duos that have the Caribbean in there,
So
because
that
that,
one
that
is you said that one's a Baccarat Rouge and Virgin Island water like mix.
Yeah, the Dua does their hybrid lines, where they mix them up pretty good. And that's pretty much that's pretty much all of the Duas that I got are all the ones that are mixed together,
Like,
because
okay.
they take kind of the best of this one and the best of that one, and they mash them up into one. And it's like I said, it's just so juicy. It's just so the lemon lime, just super awesome. I love it. And it
So,
lasts. Beast.
so what would you have you had the chance to experiment with the actual originals and to count them together, or just do the layer by any chance in comparison?
I haven't, that's a good idea. I haven't tried it because I got both. I got Baccarat Rouge 540 EDP, and I'm not sure if their Casino is the X straight or the
I believe it's
EDP.
I would think it was X straight.
Okay, see, I don't have the X straight, but I do have Virgin Island Water by Creed, and I do have the EDP, and I haven't had a chance to. I haven't really done that mix. And actually, someone just asked me that in one of my videos if I've done any mixes or if I would bring up, and I said, yeah, because Max Forte used to do that. He'd have the blends and he'd name them whatever they were. I don't know if y'all ever watched his channel on that, but he would do that. He'd do like a viewer's choice, like they tell you, hey, mix curve with something else, or mix this with
yeah,
layer.
that's a pretty cool concept to do videos like that. Have for people that have large collections like you, have the viewers recommend like mix these two. Like,
Yeah,
like me, they tell me two fragrances, I probably don't even own them. But yeah, someone that has a large collection that most likely will have them, just to kind of experiment with them and then do a review on them will be kind of cool.
yeah, and I think the Baccarat Rouge DNA lends itself to go with other fragrances like that are in the same line. I can't see polar opposites, like some, if the notes are kind of similar, they probably would mix pretty well,
Yeah,
So,
like have
but
you heard of this
I have done
brand?
it.
Have you heard of this brand? It's called Clean Reserve.
Mm-mm.
Clean Reserve. These are specifically made for layering because there are a lot of other scents they have on these are kind of like light, and they're made in a way where I think they have like 10 different scents where you could spray any one of them together, and they
Okay.
create all kinds of combinations where none of them has any notes that overpower other notes. Where if you layer them, it wouldn't overshadow the other fragrance.
Where'd you get that at?
This was given to me by I forget the name. Somebody sent this to me. I bought what
Forgot
I
their name.
I bought a bottle of something off them, and they gave me like two samples and this decant.
Oh, okay.
And so I checked it out, and I really like the way it smells because I like neroli. I think they saw my videos and they hear I like neroli.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of my favorite notes. So they send me that this one's called just clean aquatic neroli. It's called.
Okay. Yeah, I like Neroli too.
Yeah, so I might look into that house and maybe experiment with layering a little. I've been starting to do it with my moisturizers. I have a lot
Yeah.
of moisturizers, so I'm just like I'll just throw this one on with this fragrance, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Speaking of like moisturizers and stuff, I seen somebody talking about putting like their Aventus or just whatever other things inside their bottle of lotion and letting it sit for at least a minimum of 6 months to a year, and then now having a scented lotion of their favorite batch or whatever it may be. I don't know if any of you guys have experimented with that as well or not, or.
No, I've heard of that though, but I
Yeah,
haven't
yeah,
ever
me
done
either.
it.
I like to use my lotions just the way they are already, because for the majority of the ones I bought, I like the scents I have there. That's why I got them. So I like to just leave them with the scent they already have, because I shower at night, like around 8, 7, whatever. So I shower and then I put lotion on, and then I throw on a night fragrance just to kind of see what it does with the two different scents. And if I don't feel like layering, I have a lotion that just doesn't really have a scent to it. I put that on with whatever fragrance I want to wear. Or sometimes I use body sprays a lot too, and not for the night, not for the. I don't use those at day, but I use the body sprays a lot at night after I shower.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Says Medina says no. What's your thoughts on PDM cologne?
I haven't gotten a Parfums de Marly in a while. Everything reviewed on it and everything was kind of like didn't excite me. The notes weren't really like blaring at me, I guess. I did like the bottle. I think it looked awesome, but there was just so many of the things recently that I was hunting down. And like I said, I've really been on like on these more indie houses, like genre, like Dua, like you know,
Yeah.
all these phone houses. I've been kind of really leaning that way lately, just trying their stuff. I guess recently I've really been trying to say, hey, you know, I mean, everyone does the mainstream stuff. I've been trying to do some of the other stuff just to hopefully help my subs a little bit. Maybe that they aren't trying those or never heard of them. I've kind of not gone through the mainstream stuff, but I've just had I haven't heard anyone who's really liked it, so it really hasn't sparked my top, like, especially for the price. It's kind of hard to go experiment on, and I'm not a big buyer of samples. It's like I'm almost like if I could buy a bottle or do I buy a bunch of little samples, and maybe I should do that more. But I kind of like the thrill of the blind
I'm,
buys sometimes.
yeah, I'm the same. I struggle with buying samples a lot of time. I'm like, oh, like they seem expensive. I might as well get the whole bottle. Like,
Yeah, I could buy, or some
then
of
a
them
big
like
yeah,
I could buy
then
a
a big
couple
part
of
of it for
bottles.
me is a big part of it is I like collecting things. Like I used to I go through phases where I collect shoes for like 2 years, then I
Yeah,
collect video games for 2 years, then I collect comic books for 2 years, then I get bored of it and I collect something new. So I like having the bottle. It's a big part of it because bottles themselves it's a work of art to me. Like
hmm
the design, the thought process that went into it. You know that when you see a nice looking bottle or a box that comes in, you know they took a lot of time into the decision of how they wanted it to look.
yes, I agree. I agree. So that's I don't have an opinion on Kalan yet. So
Kalan. I think didn't they say that smelled like Baccarat Rouge 540?
Couple
that's what I've
people were
heard.
saying, man.
Have y'all smelled it? Either of you?
I have not. I have not. It
No.
hasn't been big on my list.
Yeah, it just didn't like I said. The only thing that really struck me was the color of the bottle. I was like, "Ooh, that looked nice on in my collection." But then it's just
Yeah. The bottle looks dope, and it stands out from all the other perfumes and Marley bottles.
yeah. So I was just like, you know. So it just if I can find a partial for a good price, I might do it.
What perfumes and Marleys do you have?
I have Leighton, Herod, Leighton Exclusive, and Percival.
Hmm.
And then I bought my wife Delina, which I do like the Delina one. It's really,
It is nice.
If you had to put them in order, what would be your order from the ones you have right there?
uh, I would say it'd probably be kind of a neck and neck with Percival and Herod. I do like Herod. The tobacco and everything is nice. Percival is like a upscale Mont Blanc legend in a sense. It's real clean, works real good. I was not to steal. There's a tag video I need to do, and not to steal the thunder off of that, but Leighton was a hype monster. You know, you heard everything about Leighton, and it's not a bad fragrance. It just to me doesn't do it. It seems kind of maybe smells a little oldie. You know, just doesn't quite. Uh, I don't know. It just didn't. It wasn't a big. I mean, it's good. It just even my wife wasn't like super
Which,
like everyone says it's a date fragrance or whatever. But
which one are you talking about right now? The original or the exclusive? That's the
the
original.
Leighton, yeah, the
Yeah.
original, the exclusive, little darker, and that one probably be my last pick. It just
Yeah, I didn't care for it
it I don't know. There's something funky about it to me.
for sure.
So that's the exclusive one. You know, it's a little bottle.
Yeah. When I first tried it, I liked it enough. I want to try more perfumes than Marley
Yeah.
fragrances, but as I tried other ones, I was like, it's okay, but I don't know. It didn't have that wow factor. Like it
Yes.
didn't have something that excited me, and it didn't have no. It didn't have like a specific situation. It's a nice signature scent, but it didn't have like, oh, it's perfect for these occasions or these.
I, yeah, it wasn't an overwhelming like, oh my gosh, this is great. It didn't have that, and it was hyped so much. I mean, it's not bad. I don't think it's a bad scent. It just wasn't.
It's
I
just
mean,
not a $300 for a bottle scent.
yeah, the price point on that is just crazy, you know. So I'm like, ah. So, but yeah, that I still think like Herod's better for sure.
That
And I want,
that that almond note, that mix with almond and grapefruit, I think is kind of what threw me off in that as well. I'm not a big fan of almond unless if it's made right, and just not a
Yeah.
big fan of grapefruit
Yeah,
notes.
I'm not a big fan of the almond. I like almonds, eating them, but I'm not a big fan of the smell. Like I don't hate it, but it's something that doesn't like excite me.
Right. And with the Layton, the original Layton, man, at first I hated it. The first thing that I thought of when I smelled it was Vicks Vapor Rub. And a part of me wanted to embrace it because, I mean, all as kids, I'm sure all of our moms raised us with Vicks, get a big slap of Vicks on the nose, big slap of Vicks on your chest, your back.
Yeah.
That was,
Yeah, you breathe that, you feel like a million butt.
and then I gave it another chance. I was lucky enough to get a partial for like a really good price.
Hmm.
Somebody told me, a lot of people said, wait for that dry down. They said the dry down is magical. When I got that mix of vanilla and apple, I fell in love. And then I ended up getting rid of the bottle and getting a decant later on. And there's something about it that I can't get with it. And like, I don't know if it's just me, but I get like this, like a wet dog type of vibe within the original Layton. I don't know what it is, but somewhere
From
around,
vape.
I
Well, you
swear,
don't want that smell. You don't want that smell.
like if you get like, I swear, try it out sometime, spray it. I know it's like an airy fragrance. It's kind of a light fragrance. It's like light and thick at the same
Yeah,
time.
and like a creamy feel to it.
There's just like this wet dog vibe somewhere in there, and I really want to like Layton because there's some really good qualities to it, man. I mean, the Vicks, I got past that and I was like, wow, that's actually it smells good, and I like it. I think it's like a winter banger, but man, after I got that vibe, I just couldn't do it anymore.
Couldn't shake it out. Yeah, sometimes people pick up a note like that stands out more than the other notes, and then that's all you smell. Like you just can't get it out of your head.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I like Layton. I don't think it smells bad, but I just don't think it's as great as how it gets hyped up sometimes. And I don't think it's something like at retail. I think it goes for 300, right? Something like that.
It's
I don't think
expensive.
that's worth like that price.
I would probably go. I would recommend anybody if they really, really like it. I always say sample it first, but also there's a lot of like Alexandria and everyone does a clone of it. So I'd probably go with the clone before I go with it. The actual.
Have you
Yeah.
been able to try a clone of it?
I've only tried, I think, four. I would put Herod first, Percival second, Layton third, and Carlisle fourth. I bought a bottle of Carlisle and I sold it like the next day when it got here. I tried it and then I wore it. No, then I wore it the next day. I wore it 2 days. Then I was like, yup, I go, that's out. I'm putting it on the fragrance groups. And luckily, it had just came out, so it was kind of hard to find. So I shit you not, right when I put it up in the groups, it sold like in less than 2 minutes. Somebody like three people messaged me like, "Hey, you still have that bottle?" So I didn't have problems getting rid of it. Luckily,
That's good.
So
Yeah.
what was it that you didn't like about Carlisle? Because I see a lot of love. I haven't tried it.
when it first, it's crazy. When it first came out, a lot of people didn't like it. When I bought it, I was checking out reviews. I didn't like it, and I saw a lot of reviews. A lot of other people didn't like it. I posted on the fragrance group like, "I don't like this fragrance," and a lot of people were commenting, "Yeah, me either, me either." And then lately, a lot of people do like it, but it's such a big. The groups are so big. It could have been these 100 people not liking it. And you still, for those 100, you have
Oh, yeah.
300 people that do like it. They're just not saying anything, because they don't want to get in arguments. So when someone posts that they do like it, then you get the 300 that like it speaking up. They're like, "Yeah, I liked it the whole time too." Like, what I don't like about it is it has kind of it's kind of smells like saffron and rose combination to me, and then it has like some incense in there. I didn't read the notes. That's just what I get from it,
Hmm.
and it came off like way too heavy and dense for me. The Carlisle, and
Yeah.
I got too much of that rose note, that heavy rose that I'm not. I don't dislike rose when it's like a light watery rose, but that heavy dense type of rose I'm not the biggest fan of. I find it also old, like old grandma smelling.
Hmm. So what do you mean old grandma smelling? Like what do you think? Like how would you describe it?
Like, when I think an old rose fragrance, I feel like that's a old school ladies women's fragrances. When I smell that thick heavy rose, so that's basically what I get from it. I get like an older lady, like my grandma, wearing it.
Oh,
Hmm.
yeah, I've not tried that one. Motivated Living. Chris just did a review on that. And I don't know who else, but something I definitely look forward to trying. As for Harad, though, I was able to get a partial of that too, and I wanted to like it, but I feel like it was more on the subtle side, and the performance wasn't necessarily there. It could have just been me.
No, yeah, I'm with you there. Some people, I hear people say it's beast mode. I don't think it's to on my skin. It's not a poor performance. I get good performance, but not beast mode.
Yeah, it's not loud. I don't think it's super boom, but I just like the scent itself. I don't.
Yeah, Carlisle is beast mode. That thing, I couldn't get it off my skin, off my clothes. That thing was there all day.
And speaking of Harad again, I feel like the one thing that did disappointed about me is the tobacco note was not as prominent as I wanted it to be. There just wasn't enough, for being when I hear tobacco, I expect it to be, like a tobacco type scent, and I just didn't get much of that from it.
I think that that's one of the things Parfum de Marley is just trying to be non-polarizing, I guess. So they don't, they're not going to be in some of the departments, because they're trying to. It's like a mass appealing, niche
for sure.
thing, So you can't have notes that are real polarizing and that notes that are really in your face that are going to drive some people away, but drive some people too. I think they're just playing it safe, in my opinion. That's why I hadn't really been too big of a fan of, or I haven't really gravitated towards that house as much anymore than when I first started. Like the bottles were cool, and I was just like, oh yeah, it's hyped up. So let me go there. But now, it's just, I think there's so many other stuff that I'm really drawn to or interested in that it just hasn't been on the forefront for me. But you're right. I think it is a subtle thing.
I actually like the tobacco note on it. I find it to be kind of sweet.
Yeah.
Hard core tobacco scent, but I like that sweet tobacco leaves and the softer tobacco notes. I don't think I really have anything with a strong tobacco note, like strong or ash or anything like that. So I can't say how I feel about that when they use it in that way. I don't particularly have anything that does that. So I gotta experiment with it. That's one thing I'm experimenting with is tobacco notes. I'm buying more fragrances with it just to see the different things they can do with it. And so far, I really like that note. I really enjoy tobacco fragrances. I find them very versatile.
I think it's kind of
another stuff you could do. You could use tobacco in a lot of different ways. It can be sweet. It could be heavy and dense. It could be dark. Like it can be a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
I think it almost has like that Swisher sweet kind of type of tobacco. And those Swisher sweets are they're sweet, they're subtle.
Yeah.
Have you guys tried Habdan by chance, or Habdan, however you pronounce it?
The latest one I got in was Ojan. I have it right here. It's a new bottle, but I haven't used it yet. So I don't know if I'm gonna like it or not. Because now some people are saying it's like Carlisle, and I was like, oh, like, hey.
I heard it was like apple pie or something like that, more gourmandy. That's what I heard.
I have to try it. I haven't opened it yet.
Oh, the Habdan or the Ojan is the one that you heard was like an apple pie.
The Wajan, I heard it was more leans towards apple pie, like smelling kind of. But I've never smelled it, so.
I'm gonna have to try that because that's exactly how that Habdan is. It's like a warm apple pie, and it was nice, but once again, performance just really wasn't there. And I guess it explains it how you guys says PDM, tends to be more mass appealing versus polarizing. And but the Ajwan or however you pronounce it is definitely something I want to try soon.
Do you like leather?
Not really. Not really.
Like, I know they have that the one in the gold bottle. People say it's like a powerhouse and it's a leather scent. They compare it to Tuscan leather, which I don't like. I don't like Tuscan leather, but it is strong.
You don't like Tuscan leather?
Oh hell no! That thing smells like a horse to me. Like a very strong body odor of a horse.
Really? See, Fernando just dropped a review on that the other day, and he actually enticed me to wanting to try that. The raspberry note with the leather, and he said there's some like smoke in the super final dry down. That kind of intrigued my interest in that. But I guess
I get a light raspberry that is there. You smell a little bit, and the way that raspberry feeds off with the leather, that leather is a very realistic leather, like it's the animal right in front of you. Like, you know what I mean? That's the type of leather I get from it. People say, "Oh, like a clean sports car, the inside leather." I go, I get like an animal at a ranch somewhere. Like, I get like a very, very real leather at a zoo or something.
You
Hmm.
tried ombre leather?
Ombre leather is nice. That's one of the few leather fragrances I actually like. Ombre leather is not bad. It's a clean. That smells like the inside of a car,
Man,
not
Oh, really?
Tuscan leather.
I'm not a big fan of ombre leather though. Actually, not a big fan of Tom Ford's fragrances in general.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
a lot of
smell.
people don't like them. I like them. I'm a fan of them. I have a lot of them right here.
Yeah, I have a couple, but I went and smelled ombre one time because it was, being hyped up pretty good. And I was like, man, let me go smell. First thing I got off it, I felt was like Band-Aids. I was like, man,
Mayonnaise?
this smells like a
Oh,
Band-Aid.
did you see what it does after like 30 minutes? It goes to like this weird note where it almost smells like burning plastic,
Oh,
and then it
really?
goes back to smelling clean.
Nah,
Yeah, it does
I,
this crazy thing. That's one of the things that intrigued me about it. Or like it's a real like clean leather, and
yeah,
then it goes to like this animalic like burning rubber or burning plastic. I was like, what the hell? It does a complete 360 and then lasts for like 10, 15 minutes, then it goes back to normal. And
uh,
I found that interesting. I was like, I wonder how they did that. Like I was like, that's crazy.
yeah. I sprayed it on, and I tried to, give it a little walk around, see, let me go look at this and that, and I just like. Then eventually I was like, nah. I went to the bathroom, washed
Wash
that
it
tube
off.
off. Like, no, I can't do it.
Yeah, yeah, that one has its a lot of people just don't like leather in general too. A lot of people are like me, I'm kind of I don't hate leather, but it's not a after buying a few leather fragrances, I was like ombre leather is the only one I'm probably gonna keep. I'm gonna sell the and Fahrenheit because Fahrenheit to me is a leather heavy as well. It's just leather and violet is basically what I get from it. But I
The
like
par-
it.
the
Those
parfum
are
one
the
or
only
which
two leather ones I'm keeping, and anything else I have, I'm probably putting up for sale as far as leather dominant.
the Fahrenheit, is it the parfum?
No, the regular one. The
The
regular
regular
one
one?
smells like you get a strong violet note, and then
Yeah.
you get that leather. So that violet note with the leather, it kind of gives that gasoline vibe. But after like 2 hours, what you really get is just mainly the leather.
Yeah. If you like leather, man, you have to get the parfum. This thing is Man, this thing is awesome. It's
I
just
might have to try that one out. I've been considering that one if I find a good deal on it. 'Cause I did get the aqua, which I like. It's a nice twist on aqua. It's not really an aquatic. It's very leather heavy as well.
yeah, I got that one too. It's a nice one. I do like it.
Yeah, yeah, it's nice. I enjoy it too.
It's funny. Medina says, "Bruh, Tuscan is my jam." I don't use a potty word.
Yeah, I know. Medina loves the Tuscan leather. I will, and I gave it a few good wearings. Like I wore it a few. I gave it a chance. I wore it at least like maybe 5 times, and I was like, nah, I go, it's not for me.
Yeah.
It's funny because me and Medina were actually talking. He dropped his video last night, and I was watching. I'm like, oh man, I really want to check this out now. And I love the decant and custom label that he got for it. He said he actually got the Tuscan leather from you, I believe.
Yeah, yeah, I sold it to him because I couldn't it wasn't like I couldn't rock with it. Like I was like it's like I'm just came from a rodeo or something, and I couldn't do it. I'm a city boy.
I agree with that. I would agree with that.
Well, if you like leather, that Spirito Florentino, I think, has a really nice fine leather, kind of like a luxury car smell, but with the Baccarat Rouge, they're playing together. They're really, really nice. That's definitely a great one if you like it.
What is that?
The t-
That actually sounds pretty interesting. And I'm not a fan of leather, but that sounds interesting.
the sweetness is toned down, but the fine, it's like a suede almost. Man, it's like if you got into if you go to a car show and you go into like they have a brand new Mercedes or something with real fine leather in it, and you get in it and it just smells clean, fine leather smell and like a new car smell almost. That's what you get. But it's the slight, the Baccarat Rouge, but more mature, more manly because of that leather. Because Baccarat Rouge,
How much do those go for that brand?
I think I got this from Koshik. I think like 139 for the bottle. I mean, they're more expensive, but Koshik, you know Koshik on the Facebook groups and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know who that is. I think I bought Carlisle from him.
Yeah, he always got some great rates. Great. We were talking one time, and I think he started doing all the selling around the same time I started collecting, and I just happened to hooked up with him, and so I started buying a bunch of stuff from him, and he's always had some great deals. And
and he lives close to my house, so when he ships me stuff, it gets here like fast because he lives. I mean, I could drive to his house probably like 20 minutes away. Like,
yeah. So if you get a sample of that one, if you like leather, and and it's not uber sweet. I mean, it's got some sweetness like Baccarat Rouge, but toned down, and that leather really comes in, and it's beautiful leather.
do you dabble with any Nishan or Nishan? What is it called?
Yeah, Nishan or Nishane, I don't know how they say it, but I want to get some. I hadn't they all getting pretty hype, like Hasivat.
Yeah, they all get good remarks. I tried. Somebody sent me a little I think it was like a 3 ml sample, 3 ml decant of Canyon Flames, and I smelled it and I was like, oh my god! I go, why the hell did they send me this? I was like, now I want to buy it. Now I want to buy it. They're making me spend money.
Yeah.
So I was trying it and I was like, this smells good. I go, I like this one. And I was like, man, I go, this wasn't even on my list and I gotta add it.
Yeah.
And then I second thinking because I'm like, man, it's kind of expensive. It's only 50 mils for like 150.
Yeah.
Oh, do I want? I was like, I want to. I like the scent. I just don't like the price. And I'm like, I'm considering it. I'm like back and forth on it just because of the price it's at. But it's good. It's good.
I've heard a lot. Everyone seems to really like that house, so I'm definitely interested in there. And well, I'll share my last one real quick for everybody. But
Okay.
I've talked about this. This one is Voodoo by Genre. For this time, man, it is so good. This thing they got bee sprayer too. Man, and it lasts, it projects, it's got, like in the opening, it's got the pineapple, it's got some bergamot, it's lemon, it's just really, really good. It's got a sharpness to it that's so good, man. I love it. So y'all get a chance.
Well, that's like a citrus. Would you say it's like a light citrusy or?
It's light. It's not overpowering citrus, but the pineapple and the lemon and bergamot really dance around really well together. It's got a little bit of tartness, a little greenness from almost like the pineapple's a little green, and it just really punches out really nice, man.
Yeah, that one sounds interesting to me because I like fragrances with lemon or orange, like light notes.
Yeah.
So the grapefruit stuff like that. So that's something sounds interesting. Something I just also because it's stuff I wear more because of the weather here. So I always like wearing those a lot more than I do. Not that I don't like the way the darker scents like amber stuff like that smell. Wood. I like some of those too. I just can't wear them enough. That's my big thing with them because of where I'm at. So the winter fragrances to me become more like nighttime use fragrances than they do winter.
Yeah. Man, I'm telling you, Genre's doing some great stuff, in my opinion. I don't know if y'all have any. Y'all have any from Genre?
Nah, but that one caught my interest. How much those go for?
They don't have this size bottle. This I think was a 60 ml. Now they do 50 ml, but the 50, I think they're like $50. And
that's not bad. That's not bad.
I don't know if you've seen my video. Let me grab this. But they come. The new ones come like this. They come in this kind of bottle. Cool.
Oh, that's a nice bottle.
Yeah, they come in real nice. That's RAMC. This was really good. And they come in this like a little pouch, metal. I mean, he does a killer presentation. So
yeah,
I might have to message you later for the info right there.
Yeah, man. Anyone who's interested, they do some phenomenal stuff. I think for the price point, I mean, they're really nice. You go to a Facebook group, it's Genre Parfums Neighborhood. It's just like the Duo community or like the Aventus groups. There's a whole bunch of people in there, and that's how you actually order. The Devin puts up the ordering window at a certain time. You see
about a month, every month and a half.
Yeah. Have you gotten any from them?
I got Bonfire, uh, Psychedelic Love clone. I don't remember what that one was called, but it was a
MDMA.
yep MDMA. Sopranos or something like that, I believe.
That's
Sopranos.
one of his originals. I hadn't tried that. How do you like that?
That one I didn't really like. Man, I think it's I don't remember if it was that one or the other one, but it's pretty much like a rose type of scent.
Oh yeah, I'm not a rose guy.
It's been a while, man. I don't remember, but yeah, it's been a while. I definitely want to try out some more of their other stuff though. That Ram C I hear is pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's what I got right here. I don't know if you can see it. I can. That's RAMC,
Yep.
and it's really got the real good tartness. Some little spicy, grapefruit and bergamot. Really, really juicy. I think it just it's really good. You probably hear about RAMC and Voodoo are probably two of the ones that you hear a lot about. And it just projects so good. The Voodoo does, and I love it. So that's a house I do like. I think he puts out, and then their 30s mLs are like this, so that it's a nice little presentation. He definitely steps up his game in the Prezo.
Yeah,
And
those look
this is
cool. Those I like those little round bottles too. Both bottles look real good.
30 mLs, and I think these are $25. And man, this performed all day for me. This is Elysium. It's Utopia. It lasted all day. It was really nice. I kept, sniffing, and it put out a good 7 hours.
That's a Elysium clone
Yes, this is the
for
Elysium.
$30 for 30 mil.
25.
I might have to order some from him. I'm probably
Yeah,
get that one and that other one you said. 'Cause I do
man,
like the
they
way
are
that
awesome.
I have another Elysium clone. I like the way it smells, but for the clone it was like 140, which I don't think is. I was like, that's too much for what it is. But
Yeah,
that price I like, because I did like the scent itself. So
yeah,
I'm definitely gonna get with you on the for the info, and I'm
yeah,
gonna
man.
order some stuff from them.
Yeah, he's definitely has it going on. So
Speaking of genre, I wanted to give a little shout out to Francisco while he's here. He actually sent me this brand new bottle. It's called Ageless Beauty.
oh
And
yeah.
it's a clone of what is it? Chance or not Chance? Forgive me. What's the big hit for the woman's Chanel?
Uh Chanel number 5
I
or
believe
Mimosa.
I think it's number 5, and I think that's what this is a clone of. I sprayed it. I didn't really like it, and I just let it sit. It came in this pretty nice little leather bag.
yes.
I'm sure you know as well too. And then I sprayed it for the first time again in a while. I think like a couple weeks ago, man. And I think there's something kind of sweet and spicy in there. I need to try this out. It's been a while. First spray the first time, like I said, I didn't like it. Second time around, it kind of turned around. So I think I'm actually gonna check this out.
A lot of these houses, since they make them in small batches, you gotta like how Omega Dave will tell you, you gotta let them macerate a little bit. You spray a couple times, let some air get in there, and let it all settle in. And after a couple weeks, man, they come out stronger, come out smelling more potent, better. But I've been really happy with what I've gotten from them.
Yeah, and when I remember smelling Chanel number 5 in stores, man, I thought, I don't really see, what the hype is about this. And then, like I said, that second spray with that really turned me on to it. And,
Mhm.
there's something a little bit different to it. So I think I'm going to check it out. I'm not going to personally test it.
I think I tried the Chanel Coco Noir. It's in
Which
a
one?
black bottle. Chanel Coco Noir. It's like
Oh,
in a black bottle. I think it's in the women's fragrances, but a lot of people say it's manly smelling. So I kind of want to order it. I want to check it out. And to me,
okay.
Noir, what is Noir? Isn't it like rose though? So that's what I was not sure.
I'm not sure
So I
what
was like, oh, what if it's rose? I might not like it. But they told me that it's in a black bottle. But some people told me it smells like black orchid, and black orchid to me doesn't smell like rose. It's like a totally different thing.
Yeah, I didn't like Black Orchid. I haven't smelled the Coco Noir, though.
I hadn't smelled that one. I didn't like Black Orchid either. I just wasn't my thing.
Yeah, I have the velvet. Have you heard of Velvet Orchard Luminous? I think it's called
No.
Luminous. I blind bought that one. I tried it a few times. It's an okay scent, but it's something that yeah, I wore it a few times and I'm like I'm like I kind of rather have the money than the bottle. Like I didn't like it enough to keep.
Yeah. Any favorite house y'all got like that really stands out?
What I have a lot of, if I look at my collection, is Mancera, Giorgio Armani, and Chanel, and what else do I have a lot of? By a lot, I mean like 4 or 5 bottles of the same brand, because I don't have
Okay.
like 20 of one brand like other people. Like if I have 4 or 5, I'm like I have a lot of that brand. It's probably Chanel, Mancera, Giorgio Armani, and which one else did I say?
The-
You said Mancera, Chanel, Giorgio Armani. I'm
Oh,
not
and
sure.
I have a lot of Tom Fords too. Those
Tom
are the
Ford.
5 brands I have like over 4 of. How about you guys?
I personally don't have a, a favorite house, so
Yeah, as far as like designer houses, I have quite a bit of Chanel and YSL, Dior, the big hitters. I mean, I do have them. Just kind of the probably YSL is probably the biggest house I got right now, just because I kind of the La Nuit was the one that I first kind of like, watching Jeremy Fragrance and all these other people want. I was like, and then so I said, man, I got to get that one. Just I don't know, that kind of got me on the itch. So I bought that one, and now I have 12 of the YSL L'Ombre and La Nuit. 12 just of that, like all the like almost every flanker. You just so you can see it in the back. They're all kind of but I will say this one, I even got 2 bottles of this. Everyone talks about that frozen.
Okay, yeah, I heard about that one. I never smelled it, but
me
I
neither.
I like the YSLs. I think it's a nice brand.
So yeah, it just and a lot of the flankers are kind of repetitive. I just got them just because I'm like you said, you start collecting something.
Yeah, you want the whole line. You want the yeah. Like
Yeah.
I have so many like X-Men books where I'm like, this story sucks. This story says like, why did I buy this? And I'm like, oh yeah, because I have to finish the collection.
Yeah, I hear you. I got a lot. I got some old comics. Like when Death of Superman and all those. Like
Oh yeah,
the
I remember that. That's what got me into comics as a kid. I was like 8 when that came out, and that's what got me collecting.
Oh yeah, so I got that one. All sealed and the different ones and all that. So I did collect that earlier on, and then when my son was growing up, I bought a bunch of the collectible. The figures, like all the
Okay,
X-Men
okay,
and the
like you get the
McFarlanes.
Toy Biz ones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're all.
Toy Biz.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what I bought them, buy them at Toys R Us and all that when they were around. And man, I probably have like 15 big totes full of unopened toys, or
Yeah,
action
I
figures.
had I remember I started collecting around high school because you start maybe like towards the end of junior high, high school to the beginning of high school. I stopped collecting because you're using your money to go out, like party and do other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a lot of like you said, unopened toys, and I left
Yeah.
them closed, and I used to collect them that way. I had when my friends used to go to my house, sometimes they'll open my closet to get like a sweater or something. Like, why you have all these unopened toys in here? Like, oh, I used to collect those before. Once I moved to my mom's, when I went back
Yeah.
to her house one day, I go, whatever happened to all my toys? I go, I wonder what they're worth. Now I'm gonna put them up on eBay. And she's like, oh, I sold all those for like $1.50. And I was like, and closed and open? She's like, yeah. She goes, they're so quick. She goes, everybody was buying them. I go, well, yeah, you're selling them at $1. And
Wow. Yeah, I'm probably gonna do the same. I need to probably get to that point and unload them because it's hundreds and hundreds of them.
yeah, I saw in one of your videos you had in the background like some like statues and stuff. Or
Oh
what?
yeah, I
Shield?
got
I think I saw like a shield and a statue.
yeah,
Or something. I was
I
like, oh,
got Thor's hammer.
posters.
Yeah, yeah. We have a ton of stuff that's collectible stuff like that, and like gear. Y'all play video games or
Yeah,
y'all play?
I haven't played as much no more, but I was big into them too.
Like he's got 2 of the Lancer guns, the full
Oh,
size.
those look bad. I seen them on a YouTube video.
Was
They're
that
yeah,
or
big war Lancer guns.
The
They look
retro.
heavy. They look heavy duty on the.
No, they're not. They're all like of plastic or they're all some resin. So, but it's got the retro Lancer and then the new Lancer.
huh.
all the Gears of War stuff like that. So, you know, we does have a whole ton of stuff that I have a whole ton of stuff and that are stocked up everywhere, but big into all the comic stuff. So every time they'd come out with a new video game system, you know, you get the collector's edition that has all the figure, the busts and stuff like that. And then
Okay, yeah, they come with all the whole package. I have a
yeah.
friend, I don't know what game it was. I want to say it was Dark Souls, but I'm not sure. That he said he got this high score online.
Mm-hmm.
He bought it like the first day it came out, and he was playing it all day, and that they messaged them or something,
Uh-huh.
and that they told him since he was one of the early buyers and they one of the first ones to reach, I don't know how many points or hours played or something.
Yeah.
They gave him this big sword, and he had it in his room like that, and I saw it, and I'm like, that thing's bad. And when I picked it up, that thing was heavy. It's like one of the swords one of the characters in the video game uses.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me that they gave it to him from some video game companies. Like, yeah, they mailed me telling me that they kept track of his online hours or something like that. And I was like, that's crazy. When I heard that story, I was like, damn, and it looks nice. I know it's expensive. It's easily like it's over $500, and I think it looks expensive. It looks expensive. Like I was like, wow, I go, you got real lucky, and you got something that's like pretty rare.
Oh yeah. That's cool. If for the collector in you, I mean, obviously we're all collectors of something.
You collect stuff. You appreciate when you know something's kind of a rare gem.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm definitely into that. But
what happened to Lincoln? See if he logs back on. But let me show my next fragrance for now. I totally forgot about this. I have this one. This one I haven't spent much time with either. It's Obsessed by Calvin Klein.
Yeah.
It's not the strongest projector, but it's pretty elegant. Something I would wear like on a date or something, or we go out for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
I would wear something like that. It's somebody, I think Simply Put Sense. I don't know if you heard of him.
Yeah.
I think he compared this to one of the initial fragrances. He said it was kind of like a clone of that, like not a carbon copy, but he said it was very similar to it.
Whatever happened to old E? Well, I hadn't seen him post anything up lately.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in a while, but I think through him is where I got about the fragrance and it made me want to order it.
I just remember always his opening. I love watching him. He always had the video game graphics.
Yeah, he puts out. I like his videos. He puts some time into the editing and stuff.
Heck yeah, he did. I hadn't seen any of his lately though. I mean, I guess he backed off a little bit, something like that. How does that smell to the original? Do you have the original?
No, I haven't never bought any initials, so I don't know how close it is to, but it is a nice fragrance. The projection is not the loudest, but it has like almost like a cranberry note to it.
Uh-huh.
It's very sweet, and then you get like some type of maybe incense to it.
How does it smell to this?
I never tried that one. I never tried the original. I gotta order it.
Yeah, it's an old classic. This is back in my like what, the 90s?
Yeah, like 89, 90.
So
from what I hear on reviews, it smells a lot different than that one though.
I would imagine so. If you're saying it smells like what you were saying, because this is like
this is like raspberry and like it's pretty sweet. I mean raspberry cranberry. It's like a cranberry smell, like ocean spray cranberry.
Okay.
With a type of incense.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think you get some type of a woodsy note later in the dry down, but it's a nice elegant scent, and it's Calvin Klein, so it's only like $30.
Yeah, that's what I like about. Yeah, I do like wearing Eternity still. I got, I like that.
Yeah, Eternity is not bad. I wanted to start a Calvin Klein collection also because I remember back in the 90s, the Calvin Klein fragrances were the shit. Like everybody in high school had one or another.
Yeah.
CK1 was the big one. It was huge. All over the school.
Yeah, man, those are the old school ones, man. I mean, I do like it. I mean, I've started to try to grab some of those, the old Lagerfeld, just some of the Tommy,
Tommy was big too. Tommy Hilfiger. The one I was into was the Aqua di Gio towards my high school years was Aqua di Gio.
Yeah.
That's back in when your parents still buying your fragrances. I was rocking that one.
most popular one ever, man. That thing. But I'm waiting on Profundo right now. I want to try that one.
Yeah, I want to try that one too. That one was the first one I really like picked out myself that I was trying out at the store, and I was like, oh, I like this one. You know, when you go with your parents and so forth. Because I remember when I started junior high, my mom bought me a few fragrances, deodorants, and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even thinking about this stuff, but you know, they already been there. So they're
Yeah.
like, you need this stuff. You're starting junior high, and I was like, what am I need it for? They're like, it's deodorant, it's this and that. And yeah, once you're in the PE lockers, you don't want to be one of those kids that don't have cologne to put on or deodorant after PE. Because there was a lot of kids like that. You're seeing the ones that came prepared because their parents looked out for them.
Yeah,
and
they told them.
totally unprepared. They're just like, oh, I need deodorant too. Let me get some of yours. Let me throw some of your cologne on. And you're like, oh,
Yeah.
good thing like my parents thought about us, so I'm not one of the ones asking, you know, like, hey, let me use this.
Give me some right guard.
Plus, the big one was right guard.
Yeah, man.
Once I got a little older, I started using the Gree, but right guard was the one I used to use at first a lot. Was
Yeah.
right guard and Gillette.
Yeah. Those are always the big ones. What year did you graduate?
I was class of 2000.
Yeah,
2001. I was supposed to graduate in 2001, but I didn't finish high school, so I didn't graduate. But that was supposed to be my class 2000.
Okay. I was class of 95, so I'm not too far ahead of you.
Yeah, just a few years. Likewise, you were ending high school. I was starting high school.
Yeah.
I was starting like in '96. Yeah. So we're just like just right when you were ending. It's kind of like me and my brother. Right when I was ending high school, he was like starting
it up. Yeah. Oh,
So you were in high school when CK1 hit.
Mm-hmm.
I was starting junior high. I remember that when CK1 hit, man, that thing was big.
East.
And
Yeah.
that's the nice thing about when you're in school because you're around a lot of people daily. So everybody, so you're seeing what's hitting, what's being popular because you're seeing a lot of people have it. Especially in school, everybody's about what new clothes came out, new Jordans. Who has the new Jordans that came out this month or whatever? If you didn't have them, it's like, oh man, I'm falling behind.
Yeah. There's a cologne I want to get is Lagerfeld Photo, but that thing is expensive, you know.
Bro, I haven't Lagerfeld. I heard of that brand Lagerfeld, but I haven't dabbled in any other stuff yet.
Hey guys, I'm sorry about that.
No problem. I know right now. Yeah, the internet's been lagging sometimes because a lot of people are live streaming right now because of everything that's happening since they're at home. A lot of people live stream right now.
I bought this just for nostalgia. This is the old Lagerfeld. It definitely don't smell. I mean, it's been killed with formulation. It doesn't smell the same, I think, from what I remember it, of course. But a Lagerfeld one that you could try, I think it's pretty good for a cheapie. Is that Bois de Vetiver? If you like vetiver, it's a little bit florally vetiver.
That's where I heard that brand from. From those, I saw a Jensen's video, Ash video, and he talked about Lagerfeld, about the Bois Vetiver, and I think it was two of them.
I don't think you can see it, but yeah, it's called Bois de Vetiver. If you like vetiver scents, this is definitely a good one. Office friendly, you know.
Yeah, I like vetiver. I find it very clean smelling.
Yeah, it's clean and offensive. So I mean and that's one of the reasons I got it, just to give it a go. But yeah, I remember Lagerfeld from this, you know. But those were the old one. I just kind of got it. This was real cheap. It doesn't smell like what I remember it, but I just have it.
Okay.
Did you show your last fragrance, Lincoln?
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'll necessarily be wearing this for the spring, but it's going to be a Creed. It's going to be a 17 N01. Sebastian Santa actually put me onto this batch. He was kind enough to send me a sample, and man, you know, ever since I smelled that, I fell in love with it. I recently bought a full bottle, a tester bottle. It was brand new. When I smelled it, I was super disappointed. Didn't smell anything like the decant, but then again, I like that experience between, you know, a retail bottle versus decant and partials and all the things I could take apart into it. You know, I mean, the guy that I got this from, he decants out of it, you know, uses a syringe to pull it out, so he wasn't actually spraying the bottle. So like you were talking about, Titan Fragrances was the maceration process. So this hasn't had the time to macerate. So there was just a lot of learning experience with this. But besides all that, man, I love it when it's macerated. It's this dark syrupy pineapple. I get a
Mhm.
lot of moss, and man, I don't know how to explain it, but it's just like I said, a smooth, syrupy pineapple, dark pineapple, um, with moss is what I pretty much get, man. And I plan on wearing that for the spring a little bit, and definitely towards the end of summer, man.
Yeah,
Definitely
right
towards.
now what you said, I that's one thing I like to where you to piggyback off what you said about you like picking the fragrance apart, like checking out all the notes and stuff. That was one of my favorite videos to do. I think I done two or three of them where I buy an original and a clone of something and just picking apart every difference in it. Like this note is louder on this one, and then it's a longer process. It's time consuming, but
Yeah.
I like doing those videos a lot more than just the regular reviews because I'm
Mhm.
kind of like explaining every difference I see between the two. How accurate are they to each other? And you get to know your fragrance a lot better when you're comparing it to a clone because you see all these things you didn't notice in the fragrance before because now you're
Right.
looking to see what's different.
Mhm. I can see that.
Have you guys been able to smell 17N01 by any chance? I don't know if you guys are into the batches or not, but
That House
Uh,
of
I,
Sillage?
no, the Aventus, different batches of Aventus.
yeah,
Oh, 17 and a one. No,
yes, sir.
I think I got. I don't like the one I got is 18. Mine's an 18. 18K11 is what I got.
Okay,
Do
I
you
think
guys do you guys think that you know how they keep talking about the batches being different and smelling different? You think all fragrances go through that? They just make it a bigger deal about Aventus because it's expensive, so people look into it more.
I don't think so.
So you think it's just an Aventus thing, like
I mean, it could be in other ones, but I mean, I'm not, like I said, well versed in that area to know if other, houses are like that or not. But from what I've experienced, it's only been Aventus because I have it a decant of the 17N01, and then I also have 17. What is it? 17W11, I believe. That's like comes off like a juicy, bright kind of pineapple with a lot of creaminess in it that I don't like. Versus the N01 being dark, you know, like a dark pineapple, like I said, syrupy, uh, moss, and you get a lot of that ambergris in there as well. So
is the difference in them when you like? Do you have to really dissect it to see the difference, or is it noticeable just by walking around like that? You're like, hey, this is different.
but no, the the difference is vast. It's very noticeable. So if I was going to wear 17001 and it was macerated, ready to go, next to 17W11 macerated, ready to go, they're going to be completely different, and you are going to doesn't take a what is it a trained nose, as some people say, to spot the
Yeah,
differences.
but see that I don't like because for how expensive these bottles are, they should all everybody buying one should be getting the same thing. You know what I mean? Because it shouldn't be like one person got jibbed, they got a good batch, and this person got a bad batch, and they're paying the same price when it's that expensive. You know what I mean?
Well, I like the idea of batch variations because then rather than a million different flankers, I feel that the batch variation is the flanker. The continuous flanker, and it's just like a different experience. Like I said, when I got that brand new tester bottle, luckily the guy was nice enough. He said, "Hey man, if you don't like it, go ahead and return it. I'm gonna send you your money back." And he was a man of his word, and he did. And I touched bases with my buddy, and he said, "Well, you just also don't have that experience in a retail bottle. You're used to smelling your decant, where the maceration process is a lot quicker than a full bottle." And when I got this partial, I don't remember the guy's name, but like I said, he decanted out of this. Pulled it out with a syringe. It still smells a little bit danker in comparison to the full tester bottle, and I don't know how to explain it. There's so much going on with it,
No,
but
no, but I get you. Yeah, I get you. If it's it just smells different because a lot of the times it's like you ever mix drinks, tequila or something, you mix it in a big bottle and you're serving everybody. Then when it's running out, put some more. But then the next one don't smell the same because maybe the balance of tequila to whatever other stuff you're putting isn't the same, right? So it's not exactly the same thing, the same proportions. So you're
so
getting this guy's getting more tequila than this guy, so he's getting drunker. Like you know what I mean? So I see what you mean with the batches. Like this person's getting more pineapple than this person, or this person's getting more of a smoky batch. So you're not getting like the same thing, and even though you're it's being advertised as the same.
See, I'm thinking, but once again, like I don't know because I haven't had more than one bottle of the 17 and 01. I smelled the same juice in different decants and whatnot. People chase the batch, and I'm pretty sure all the batches are the same, and they're I don't know how to explain it. Uh, I don't even know.
Yeah, if there's enough, if yeah, because if it smells different, if it smells that different, then you want to know the batch because it helps
Exactly.
know what you're getting.
Yeah, I had heard that it's obviously because of they're using fresher ingredients or whatever. So sometimes the variation will come from that. How true that is, I don't know. I can see where some people like he was saying, the variation. It's almost a flanker within a flanker. Some people, I could see your point too, where it's like I want it consistent. If I'm going to buy it, I want it to smell like what I think it smells like. That's why reformulations normally don't ever happen for the better, in my opinion. I'm I don't I think Aventus is a it has its place for sure because it's well versatile. It definitely came on the scene. I think it really um, obviously it has so many clones.
Yeah, it
It's
did it.
doing something
Yeah, it
right.
was a game changer. Game
So
changer.
so
Sure.
I think it's it is a scent that needs to that should be in most people's collections. But for me, it's just it's not the end all. Like, not saying that anyone says it's for them too, but it has its place in my collection, but I don't find myself reaching for it that
Mm.
much really right now. I do think they did a great job. It almost like Aquadesia when it first came out. It was the scent. I mean, it everywhere, or those scents that
Yeah,
came
it was
out
very
that
trendy. And I
changed
think
the
a lot
game.
of it was also Aqua di Joe was kind of piggybacking off of CK1 success, like because it has a lot of similarities in the
Hmm.
smell and the bottle, and it's even the same perfumer.
So, what do you get from your 18K11? Like, how would you describe it?
I get it very fresh, pineapple-y. It's I don't get any of the like smokiness or anything dark about it. It's just fresh and well balanced. I think it's
So now, was that a partial, or did you buy that when it was
no.
full?
I bought a partial. It's got about a half full.
Do you
I,
know if they
I
do you know if they decanted out of it at all, or did they actually use it until that amount right there?
No, he decanted it. I know it. How do you say his name? He's super big in Fragcom as far as uh, uh, he's got his own. Golly, he sells a whole bunch of event, all high end stuff. I can't even say.
Or is it Sarab or
Yes,
whatever?
Sarab.
Sarab or yep.
Yeah, he. You know how he has every now and then he has those deals where he's like, hey, I got 10 bottles of half of the bottle for so much or whatever. So I hopped on one. So I mean, I know it's legit.
Right.
It it just he decanted half of it out, and
So how long have you had that bottle though?
I've had this for a while, but I
Couple
don't get it. I'd probably say maybe almost a year.
year. How
You
much do you
know,
think you used out of it?
Uh, Probably 20 sprays,
Mm.
maybe. I just don't reach for it too much. It's kind of, I guess, with doing like this, like um even though I'm spraying for morning time, then I spray sometimes in the afternoon, I spray for bedtime. It's hard to test. I guess some people like, I guess I don't test like maybe others where they spray three different colognes on each arm or something.
Mhm.
I try to just spray that one and see how it performs, or I do a comparison. Like today I mainly sprayed Utopia from Genre, and then I sprayed Sensual Obsessions on one arm, but the same thing because it's taken, comparing the two clones. But for the most part, if I was going to test this, I'm just going to spray this on and wear it for the day, see how it does. And in the process of trying to test, getting new ones almost every week, something coming in. So it's hard to really go back to those old ones, or I say old ones, just really put a
Yeah,
dent.
yeah. You
in
wanna
them.
you wanna smell what you bought this week, like last month's stuff that's old already.
Well, I gotta test it for this, or I got a few reviews I gotta do on this.
Yeah,
So
This.
you
now
don't
yeah, I'm
feel,
the same way. A lot of stuff gets left in the box and stuff. I'm like, that was like 2 weeks ago. Like, let me see what the new package I've been
I
getting.
want to play with the new toy.
so you
Yeah,
don't feel like
exactly.
you
That's what it is.
smelled.
You got your old toy once the new one comes in.
Yeah.
You don't feel like you smelled like a change at all within the time that you've used it, whether like the maceration or anything like that.
I mean, to be honest, this is the first time I pulled this out in probably a couple months, and
Mhm.
and to what you're saying, I do feel like it's a little bit more. I can't say darker by any means. I still smell the fruitiness. The pineapple's really bright in it. I don't smell the smokiness of it, but I do feel like it's a little bit more strong. Not necessarily stronger, but a little more potent.
Yeah, yeah. See, I don't think all of them. Yeah, like all the batches are different, so yours might not get any smokier. It might get more juicier. I would imagine. Like I hate to say it, but this, like I said, like just like you said, this one was decanted from, so it wasn't really sprayed. There's not a lot of oxygen inside. Just like with my tester when I sprayed it, man. You know how a lot of people say, why waste your money on a Ventus? Just get CD, some clubbed into wheat intense man.
Mm-hmm.
When I first sprayed that tester, I was completely disappointed. I'm like, this is not what I thought, and it did smell like CDNIM.
Yeah.
And like I said, both the
Mhm.
same juice, night and day difference. This is like, I really get the pepper in there. It's a strong pepper, kind of that smoky vibe. It's not as dark in the moss. The pineapple is still there. It's not super dank like this is, and so I would recommend you getting a decant for your Aventus and using it for like seeing the differences. After a month or so.
Okay, so that decant is from that same bottle.
No, this one actually came from Sebastian Santa. I've had this for I don't even know how long, like probably like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, I got confused a little. I thought you said you decant it from that bottle, and the one on the decant changed the smell compared to the what was left in the bottle.
Nope. I bought a brand new tester and I sent it back because it wasn't what I thought. When I smelled the same batch in a decant, and that's when my buddy who sent me this told me you're just not experienced in what a retail bottle is going to smell like versus the decant when it matures and it macerates. This one was decanted from, so I bought this was a partial before I bought it. But yes, night and day difference completely. Night and day.
Okay, let me check out my Aventus batch. It's oh wait a minute. No. I have this is the closest thing to Aventus I have. I've never smelled the real thing.
What's that?
This one to me is like it's very like smoky. It's a smoky pineapple. I don't get a bright, juicy pineapple at all.
Hmm.
But this one's a nice one. I liked it. I wasn't like I haven't even worn this a lot, so I wasn't too old. Like, oh man, I want to go buy the real thing. But I did like it. In the times I have worn it, I did get some compliments with it too. People ask me like, "Hey, what was that?" And then you tell them Laventure is $30. They're like, "Oh, cool. Like, let me go order that." If I tell them, I think they prefer hearing this than hearing, "Oh, it's Creed. It's gonna cost you 300." They're gonna be like, "I don't want that shit." But it's like, "Oh, it's called Lavender right here. You ordered $30 on eBay." They're like, "All right, cool." Like, and then they go order it, because it's nice, it's affordable.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you get from that exactly? You said you get like a smoky.
Yeah, it's like a smoky citrusy scent, and it's gonna be the pineapple smell. But this isn't. I don't think it has a pineapple. No, I think it has something else. But I get a kind of smoky incense and citrusy.
And you said you haven't smelled any Aventus before?
I never smelled the original Ventus, but that's what this one smells like. It's incensey and citrusy.
Man, do me a favor. I'm telling you, get you a decant, a sample of 17 N01, uh, and use it for about a month and let it sit, and then watch the night and day difference. I promise you, 100%. But I do not recommend 19P11 out of all batches. I don't like that one at all.
Okay, yeah, because like I told you, I liked it. I like this one, but it never really sold me enough to go drop $200 on a bottle. I was just like, I'm happy with this. Like, I was like, I could use that money towards other fragrances on my list that I actually smelled and want.
Yeah.
And I always end up ordering other stuff that's on the list.
Yeah, I always go for. I like partials personally. Especially
Yeah,
some of
you
the.
can find it. They're hard to find though. And then when you put them up for sale, partials go fast. I noticed when I sell half a bottle of, whatever, let's say,
Yeah.
for example, Millennium Imperial, if I have a 50 mil partial, that goes immediately. If I sell you a 60 mil decant, it stays there for a while because people want the bottles. Like,
Yes.
it's a big part of the collecting is the bottle.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But I think in some of those, like I said, some of the main sellers, they do run them from time to time. You just got to keep scoping them out. That's what I try to do.
Yeah,
Get
yeah,
out
you
with
gotta
them.
keep up because those partials they go fast. A lot of times people want the bottle and they don't need the full fragrance, so they're waiting for that partial.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm guilty of that myself because I don't need 100 milliliters. I mean,
Yeah, I'm like that too. I'm like if I could get the partial over a decant, over a 50 mil decant, if I could get a 50 mil partial, there's like 50 left or whatever, I'll buy that immediately too. That's why those are easier to sell too. When I decant some out for myself, like I'll decant 40 mils out, 50 mils out, and then sell the rest. If as long as I'm selling them the bottle and not the decant, I'm selling them the 50 that's left in the bottle. They go fast, and I struggle to sell the decants.
oh yeah, I can see that for sure.
I
Unless
could also see that people maybe they don't trust you. They're like, what if that decant is just a clone or something, right? It's not the real juice. This one with the bottle, I know it's the real thing.
yeah, I mean, I guess once like all the decamp people, once they built up their clients or their then they can trust them pretty good. So
Yeah, yeah. Once you've done a few sales and stuff.
Medina, Medina says, "What's your guilty pleasure scent?" Mine is Abercrombie and Fitch First Instinct.
well, that's a good one. That's,
Shoot, mine's Ariana Grande Cloud. I wear that all day, every day. I'm just kidding.
okay, I was gonna say I just bought that for my daughter not too long ago.
I know. I'm just kidding. I'm just messing.
Britney Spears fantasy.
Oh, he said, "Hey, that came off a little too confident to be a joke." He knew it. He
I see
knew it.
that everywhere. I always see that one everywhere. At Marshall, TJ Ross. It's never failed. It's always there.
Fails, he says. Hey, that sounded serious. That's funny. Britney Spears fantasy, huh? Is that a real? Is that a real perfume?
Yeah, yeah. They have it at. I always see it at Marshalls and TJ Maxx.
Yeah,
Every time I go, they always have Britney Spears fantasy there. A lot of people say, a lot of girls say it's a nice fragrance. They
some
grew
of
up
those
on
are
it in
pretty
like
good.
high school and stuff.
I think I got my wife Jessica Simpson's Fancy. That was pretty nice for a woman. Yeah.
Fancy. Okay, I want to try the Sarah Jessica Parker one. NYC, I think it's called. It's like $20. Like not personally to wear, but to review it and because I've been buying. I got a few feminine fragrances. I got maybe 6 or 7. I
Yeah.
want to review, do some perfume reviews as well, like women perfumes.
Yeah. I've done a couple of those. It just I don't think I have a lot of female viewers. I try to do them like for Christmas time too. Like, hey, what to buy for your wife? But I was also a smaller channel then, so
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
that's always good too. That also because it keeps you from you they have completely different scent DNAs going on, different trends in the women's side of things. So just to see what's going on that side, what's trending and so forth.
yeah. I need to do. I was thinking because I've watched a few reviews done in Spanish, and I was like, oh man, I might try that. I'm not my Spanish isn't probably good enough for all the scent note breakdowns and stuff, but it just did.
I'm gonna have to go back and check those out. I've been thinking about doing that too because I was looking into. I think there's a way where if you do a review in Spanish, the
Yeah.
subtitles will come out in English. So I wanna
Oh,
I
really?
wanna do that. Yeah, I think it's a new feature on YouTube.
Huh. Yeah, because I just seen some of the reviewers over there now, and I click on them and I was like, holy crap, they got like 500,000 subscribers. I was like, that's a
Oh
whole
yeah, bro.
market.
Yeah, some guy was telling me this, and I didn't know this because like, I noticed a lot of the Spanish channels have like not just in fragrances and books too, and comic books and statues. Like, they have way more subscribers than the English ones. And some
Huge.
guy was telling me, he goes, because there's less Spanish channels, so they get all the subscribers. And I was like,
Uh,
oh, okay. And then they were telling me that there's a lot more Spanish speaking people than English speaking because they have Colombia, Cuba,
Yes, yes, yes.
Spain, Argentina. That they're like, there's a lot of countries that speak Spanish, and then there's only a little bit of channels that have Spanish and Spanish their content, and they're like, so
Yeah,
there's a whole market out there. I was like, oh, and then I was like, oh, I kind of want to make some Spanish videos now.
exactly. I'll have to put a disclaimer though that my Spanish isn't the best, so that way they don't, just rake me across the coals with that. But I seen that, it just seemed like every channel I looked at, I was like, golly, man, these guys 250,000 subscribers, dude.
Yeah, they get a lot of views. They get a lot of views too on
Yeah,
their,
they're like they put it out a week ago. They're like at 20,000 views or 50,000 views. I'm like, God dang! I mean, just like I was like, wow. And not to knock the channels. Now I can't think of which one I was watching, but when they were going through it, I was like, well, I don't think it's nothing groundbreaking from what anyone else is doing in the English side. But they were blowing all the English guys away, as guys and girls. I mean, it's one thing
yeah.
on the seems like the female reviewers, they grow real quick too, I mean, like on our side, but not as quick as the Spanish ones I think I've seen. It's just like, wow, they're
Yeah,
blowing.
yeah, and because all those girls they have a big fragrant like all those girls kind of know each other. All those Spanish speaking perfume reviewers, they all talk and on Facebook and stuff like that. So they have their like group going on.
Which is cool. I mean, I just thought about that. I was like, I was like, man, I'd like to expand that, also help my Spanish out a little bit, hopefully. And
Yeah, on the English channels, I noticed that the girls do more because they do beauty channels where they do makeup and they add
those are
perfume
huge.
videos. Yeah, so those grow big. And in the Spanish one, I've seen some, but I think there's more uh, strictly perfume ones
Mhm.
than there is beauty channels. And in the English, is the beauty channels are the big ones, and the
Yeah.
perfume ones come second.
Yeah, but I didn't know if you had noticed that or if you ever watched any, but I was like, I clicked on one, and it was like, boom! I was like, wow, they're
Yeah, yeah, I like to watch those.
blowing it up.
Check out Manny Fragrances.
Hmm.
I was watching him before I started collecting fragrances. He's a Spanish channel. I like watching his live streams and stuff too. He has
Okay.
a good content. I think he had like 5,000 back when I started watching him. Now he has like 17, I think, something around there.
Yeah,
And I started watching him like a year ago.
yeah, they're growing. They grow quick. So, but my guilty, I still like. If I had to say a guilty one that I like, just and it's kind of weird to say that it's for bedtime, but just a regular 1 million, Paco Rabanne.
Million?
Yeah.
Damn, you're crazy for that one.
But I'm not like dousing myself with it. It just give me a spray and just get the scent. I actually kind of like it. But up until a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, when I started collecting, I didn't know what Paco Rabanne 1 million was. I had no idea. I had no idea. But I do think in this community, certain things get a mob hate mentality. Like everyone hates like you got a group of people that hate Dua, so I'm gonna jump on the hate Dua or Paco Rabanne 1 million. Oh, that's a juvenile club scent, and because everyone is popular to hate it, they all hate it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
how I
yeah.
feel.
That definitely happens where you don't want to disagree with the majority, so you go along with it. Like, oh yeah, it sucks. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
and
So
if they say it's good next week, you're gonna say, oh yeah, it's great.
all right, Medina's keeping us on track here, but I told you I brought mine. So 1 million.
So what does your better half say about that? About you throwing on a beast mode fragrance to go to sleep?
Well, that like I said, I normally use the little because you go buy fragrances and they give you the little decant, so those don't squirt out as much. So I just kind of
Yeah, you're right.
give me
Yeah,
a little.
little spray.
Yeah, I normally have it in a decant, so I'm not spraying the full bottle on me. But yeah, there are the few times she's like, "What?" Like not with that one, but other ones. Like when I'm trying them out, she'd be like, "What are you wearing?" I was like, "Oh, you don't like it?"
Yeah, I remember I used to have this girlfriend, and I don't know what fragrance she wore. I remember I asked her once and she told me, but I can't remember what it was. But I found it real off-putting. I didn't like it, so I was like, "Hey, you know what? I bought you these fragrances, and I bought I think like two. I think I bought her two different ones that I like the way they smell. Like here, I
Yeah.
got you these. These are nice." She tries them out. She's like, "Oh yeah, they're nice." Then every day she's still wearing her signature scent, and I'm like I bought them so she could wear these, and I don't have to be smelling that shit.
Didn't get the
She
hint.
wouldn't do it. She was supposed to keep wearing hers, and I didn't want to tell her. I didn't want to she might be offended or we might get an argument. So I never said
Yeah.
anything. But I was like, man, I wish you would have just worn these. 'Cause I don't like the whatever it is you wear, I'm not feeling it.
Yeah, I hear you. But
Francisco says he wears a Ventus to sleep every night. I think he's saying that he does. I don't believe him.
Balling, balling.
wow.
Balling right.
No, we're Club de Nuit.
Yeah.
Right. Have you guys smelled Club de Nuit by chance at all? Or
Nah.
I
I was
have it,
thinking
not
between
the
that one and
recent
this
one
one when I
though.
was gonna buy a clone, and I went with this one just because I saw Let's Talk About It. I didn't want the
Yeah.
one everybody's buying, so I bought this one.
Yeah, I have it somewhere in here.
I do not like it at all. Not a bit.
It's definitely loud. It's definitely the first. I can't say it's so off-putting at the start. I just think it is a little bit right out the gate, and it does settle down better. But you know,
Man, this one is smelling. This one is smelling real nice. Now I can smell it coming up. I squirt my hand, and it's nice.
mhm.
I can smell both. I can smell this one, and I squirted this one, the Obsessed, on the other hand. So I'm smelling both, but this one's projecting. This one's a soft projector. I knew that going in, so I don't smell it as much. I smell the other one more.
What was that one? Obsession?
Yeah, obsessed.
Yeah,
Oh,
Obsessed by Calvin Klein.
never heard of that one. So is that like a flanker to Obsession or?
No, it's a completely different thing. It's like a cranberry with some light woods and kind of like an incensey note maybe.
Huh. Yeah, that's crazy. I've not seen that one before.
Yeah, it's new. It just came out a few months ago. Like I wanna say, I heard about it around November.
Yeah. Speaking of that Ariana Grande cloud that I brought up earlier, that you guys have smelled the X-ray of BR 540, correct?
Yes, I actually like that one better than the EDP.
So what is your take or your opinion on the Ariana? Like, do you feel okay wearing BR 540 now that you've got a whiff of Ariana Grande cloud?
Yeah, I think from the EDP to the cloud, I do think that the cloud is a little bit more feminine than the not that EDP doesn't lean unisex, but I I don't have a problem wearing the EDP,
What
but I don't
about
have
you?
the
I'm sorry.
I've never tried BR 54, none of them. I'm leaning towards getting a clone maybe 'cause I hear so much buzz about it that I kind of want to try it out now. So maybe I'll go with the Ariana Grande because I like the bottle too, and or maybe the Aha Main because I like this brand. As far as clones, these are really the only clones I buy is this brand. So I might buy
pretty good.
the Aha Main BR 540 clone.
I go with the MMX straight, which is the X straight from genre.
Is that
I
a
think it's
BR
pretty close.
540?
Yeah, this is 540 X straight.
Really? I
Yeah.
have no idea. How does that smell in comparison to your real version of the EDP?
This one smells more like the X straight. I think it's a little toned down on the sweet, sweetness a little bit because the X straight's a little darker. I think a little deeper.
A little
And
bit. The almond is what I think that kind of gives it that more masculine.
yes, so I do like the. I think this one is because I went to for what we were at Saks and before all this happened, like right around Christmas time, and me and my daughter like to go looking at colognes and perfumes and stuff. So we went to Saks because that's where you have all the. Or I was actually looking to smell Delina exclusive because I was thinking of what I was going to get my wife for Christmas, and so we went through the store and I saw the X straight there, so I smelled it and I sprayed it on, and I was like, man, it's. I think you're right. It must be the almond or something that gives it a little bit more depth, a little bit more I just like it better. So I was like, man, I like the EDP, don't get me wrong. But I said I went with that, so I smelled it. And then when I have a little sample of it first from them, which was I had the little bitty, right?
Uh-huh.
So I smelled it. I was like, man, I had to buy the bottle.
Really?
That's how good I felt they did. And it lasts pretty dang good. I mean, so see, Francisco says it's great scent. I like it. I mean, it's that good. And for $25,
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I'm gonna look for. I'm gonna do a. I'm definitely gonna get an order. Maybe order 4 of them because you say the 25 each. So yeah, drop like $100.
$100.
It's not bad
Yeah.
for 4.
You get, and he has a whole spreadsheet on it. When we message, I'll send. You just go to, really the easiest, go to genre parfums neighborhood, get in the group, and then on the files tag, when you go to the Facebook group, there's a files. You click on files, and it'll have a spreadsheet, and it'll tell you what what its name is and what it's supposed to be clone of.
It does a clone of a BR540 X-Ray, and it's called Sunset in Heaven.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I'm not really a fan of
Parfums
parfum
vintage.
scents. Not that they don't smell good, but just
Price?
at that price, I feel I just could get the original thing of something else.
Yeah, I don't like their company honestly, just because of their reputation in general or their customer service. But if I had to get a clone, I definitely want to look into the MMX straight. But this the Sunset in Heaven is honestly a pretty good clone of the BR540 X straight. And yeah, I haven't really looked into the price per mil between the original and this one, but
What is the what's wrong with the reputation?
uh everything I've heard about them, the customer service is just horrible. Horrible. Like
Like they don't accept returns or anything like that?
I don't know. I don't remember exactly, but I received a sample. I ordered like a sample pack. I hit the sprayer one time and it fell off, and I tried using it as it was, so that way I could do like a written review. And I pretty much said to heck with it. It was a waste of my time. I emailed them, explained the situation, and somehow they saw that I had done like a written review on Facebook, and they said, well, obviously, basically, it must work. And they wouldn't, exchange a sample. And I said, I can send you guys a picture. The cap is broke. It doesn't work. I don't know. They just did not very professional. I still got it in my email somewhere here. And from everything I've seen all over Facebook, it's just bad customer service, bad customer service. And, you know,
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and even the prices, I mean the prices I feel if you're a clone house and you're cloning something and then you're trying to charge the same price as what you're cloning, then you're basically just ripping off all their whole idea and charging the same. I'm like,
Yeah,
the whole point to me, the whole point of cloning is to help people save money. But if you're trying to steal someone else's idea and sell it at the same price, then that defeats the purpose. Now you're just like trying to make money, trying to rip people off.
Yeah, I think everyone's has since the prices kept climbing for, price per mil seems to be getting like you said closer to what you'd get the real thing. So
Yeah,
I
once the price is close to what the originals are, I don't see the point in buying them. You might as well get the original if the price is like almost the same.
yeah, I only got one. I got Emperor X straight, but I got that as a partial too. So you know,
I
yeah,
have
really.
I have a 20 mil of the Sawyer. Uh, what's it called? It's a clone of Elysium. It wasn't bad. It's okay, but it's not worth the $140 for the bottle, in my opinion. So if Elysium smells like that and it costs like $300 or whatever the price is, I feel because the way I feel it's kind of simplistic. The scent I like it, but it's not anything that you haven't seen before.
yeah.
And which one is that one?
Elysium. I was like, it's a nice
Uh,
scent, but it's not a $300 scent DNA to me. It's kind of a simplistic, basic, kind of like a lemon smell to it.
are you talking about the one that comes in like the blue bottle and the gold
Yeah,
top? Yeah,
yeah,
I didn't either. I thought that was just a bunch of hype.
yeah, definitely. A
It's
lot of
okay.
the stuff is hyped up because they're trying to convince you to buy stuff.
Hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I personally like it for this time of year because of how the type of the scent profile it is. Would I pay
It's
$300
a
for a
nice scent.
bottle?
The scent itself is nice.
Yeah, but yeah, I agree. It's definitely not worth the $300 in my opinion. Uh, but I like the scent DNA. So for this time of year, but so that's why I lean towards the clone houses and stuff like that have it. I got a partial of it to have it and to compare it with the ones I had, and I do enjoy it. I just think that right now with what Dua can do or what some of these other houses can do for a tenth of the price, man, I'm good with spraying Utopia from genre and smelling just like it pretty much, 85, 90% at least.
Yeah, yeah, and
So
those prices are not as bad. Someone sent me some decants of some Dua stuff. I mean, I just forget I have stuff sometimes here. That I haven't checked. I gotta go and use some of those. I remember. Um, I'll look through them later. I don't remember exactly what names they were. I think one was like the Mobster or something like that.
Mm.
okay. Mobster, I think is Roja is I
No, it
think
was a Duo. It was a. I don't know
yeah,
what it was a clone of, but it's called Duo the Mobster.
the Mobster I want to say is Dua's clone of Roja Elysium. Oh no, Roja's um Enigma or E Creation E. I think it's Creation E.
Oh, great. Yeah, I hear about that one a lot too, Krishani. I'm gonna look through those. I'm gonna try to start. I'm gonna start using those more because before I didn't use my decants. I want to use the
Yeah.
bottles I'm buying. But right now, since like I'm gonna try to cut down a little bit on the buying, and I'm gonna go just enjoy all the
Okay.
stuff I haven't even used yet that I have here. It's like I'm just buying and I have a bunch of stuff I haven't even opened. So what am I doing?
Yeah. Yeah. Might as well burn through them right now, especially test them out the house.
Exactly. Like I saw who was it, niche guy, where he goes, "Are these fragrances worth $600? This bottle's worth this price." He goes, "Are they worth this?" He goes, "Basically, what I'm doing is spending money very unwisely." Like,
Yeah, that is it. But hey,
I
Yes,
mean,
sir.
now we
we all do it. It's part of the process, part of the journey.
yeah, yeah. I enjoyed. I really enjoy the interaction. Really like meeting you guys, uh, all the other reviewers, and just the community as a whole. That's really what's been so fun.
Yeah, me too. I like talking to people that are into the same hobby, and then at the end of the day, thanks to the groups and so forth, is the once it's when you blind buy, it's not depending on what you buy, I guess. It's not that big of a risk because if you don't like something, you could either return it or keep it, wear it a while, then you can always sell it back on the groups to get some of your money back. So it's not too bad.
yeah, yeah. I agree.
I'd have to agree with Medina a little bit. I wouldn't say Creation E is hot garbage, but I didn't really care for it. It wasn't a bad set, but I didn't think it was, anything worth the price that what Rojas going for and all that stuff.
I have never tried Creation E. I've never
I
tried any of the Elysium. Like I said, I just tried that clone. But I'm gonna look through those duos, check them out, see if there's anything I like. It's because I try to set rules for myself, like about prices. I try not to spend anything more than like 150 on one bottle. So when it's 200, 250, I automatically say, you know what, I'm not even gonna get tempted by this, and I'm just look elsewhere because that can take you down a dangerous path. Like money wise. Then next thing you start buying $200 bottles, next thing you go, I'll buy $250 bottles. It's not that much, and it can get out of control. So I try to set the limit at that price, be somewhat wise where my money goes.
I hear you for sure. But so I've never smelled it Creation either. Just like I said, all I know is because I do have one that's supposed to have it in there, but I can't compare to it. It was Midnight Rendezvous with the Mobster, which is the supposed to be a mashup of La Nuit Alone vintage batch with Creation E. It smells pretty good. It just I don't have a reference, so
Yeah, La Nuit Alone. A lot of people say I have a bottle here that's newer. A lot of people say it has poor performance, this and that. I still get about 7, 8 hours with it, and I still think it's like a real nice smell. I don't think it's like dated or anything.
no, I think it does really good. I have the first reformulation, and like I think who was it? I don't know what. Maybe it's been Chaos or one of those guys. Basically saying the same thing. There's really not a need to just go and buy the vintage, that especially not at the high prices. There's no way.
Yeah, I found one of my friends that collects comics. I'm in the same comic book groups as him. He's like he doesn't collect colognes, but he has a lot of he wears a lot of colognes, and I make fun of him because he's Italian. So I'm like, oh, you Italians, like always having a bunch of colognes and overspraying, and so you always see him in the background when he's doing his comic book reviews.
So you're saying
And
I'm
he has like
Italian?
he has like 3 bottles of Lano Itelon. And I asked him, I go, people collect fragrances too and so forth. He's like, oh, they do. And then he was like, these 3. Then he started looking up his bottles. He goes, these 3 bottles are worth so and so. He goes, these are all old bottles. He goes, these are stuff I bought like he bought them a long time ago. So they're like formulations from like 2012 or 2011, something like that. And
Yeah,
he's
the
like, man, he goes, I didn't know
2009.
they were worth that much. And then I go, you're gonna sell them now? And he goes, no. He goes, now they're collectible, so I'm keeping them. So now he don't even want to spray them, and he wants to buy like the new batches to wear.
uh,
That's funny.
that's good. Good stuff. Yeah, but you find that all the time. People that are collectors collect other stuff. I mean, it's just the way it goes. You know.
A collector mentality. Once you collect one thing, you collect other things, and it's hard to stop.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
I got books here that I paid $600 for that I know they ain't worth that. Like when the ration on me says this is just a book, is I could read on the computer for free, but you want the actual copy, you want to have it there.
Yeah.
See, this is the only thing that I've ever gotten into that I started collecting, honestly, was fragrances. The only thing.
Yeah.
Books I read, so I wouldn't say collect them, but I buy them to read them, and then they
So
collect
you
together.
never, you never got into collecting because I find a lot of people where they start is either with hats, like baseball hats, shoes, or movies. Collecting like 'cause movies, you collect them without even knowing you collect them. Next thing you know, you have 300 Blu-rays. You're like, damn, I guess I collect them. Like,
I mean, well, I guess when I think of like collecting, I think of like an enthusiast or a hobbyist. This is the first thing that I've I want to collect them. To keep them, organized and stocked versus shoes. I've never really been into shoes. I stick to like a certain particular shoe or a certain particular boot. So I don't really get into that kind of stuff.
oh, you collect guns. That's expensive hobby. My cousin collects guns. Man, I go, I don't make that kind of money to be buying, to be collecting guns.
I got a couple guns, but I wouldn't say I'm a collector. I do have home defense for sure.
Yeah, then you live in Houston. I hear it's not exactly the nicest area.
It's so big, it's so sprawled out. But everyone in Texas got to have a gun. So in my cars, everywhere
That's
I go,
true.
I have one.
That's true. I hear in Texas you could just walk around with them as long as they're in a holster.
Yeah,
Is that true?
you can open carry. Like you can open carry without having a license versus like concealed carry where you got to have a license.
Okay, okay. Yeah. 'Cause I heard somebody say they go, yeah, in Texas you could, long as it's in a holster showing, you could
Yeah.
walk around with them.
Yeah, it's funny. Just the other day, we were doing a job, and the guy there, he had his holster on. So I was like,
That's crazy.
this is just the way it is. It's no big deal.
And you guys get no taxes either. Man, you're
We don't
doing
get
good
no
up
state
there.
tax like y'all. Y'all get killed over there, man.
Yeah, you can't. Actually, here it's gotten a lot of. It's not what like the reputation it had in the '90s. It still lives on today, like it's still the same, but it's completely different out here in LA. It's kind of more bougie now. Like it's more like whatever's popular, the skinny jeans, like
Oh.
LGBTQ stuff, all that. Like whatever's popular, they gotta do it more. It has to be extreme here to support it more. Like we gotta be number one at everything.
Yeah, you still see like people, like not that it's a cowboy hat. You see people wearing cowboy hats, of course. Boots, of course, we wear boots. And even sometimes, especially around rodeo time, which we just got closed off, because of the whole virus thing. But during that time, everyone's wearing cowboy boots and hats, and even riding around in some, take their horse out for a spin.
Yeah, that's how my stepdad was. He was always out with his friends. They had those sombreros, the snakeskin boots, those expensive belts. Like they had that whole. It looked like they were in a band, in a singing band of music.
So I remember you saying, Titan, that you said you're a lineman.
Yes.
Nice, cool. Yeah, I was just curious about that. I do line clearance trimming or arborist, whatever you want to call it.
Oh yeah.
But I've been looking into. Sorry if I'm trying to delete something here at the same time while I do this. How long did it take you to get to be a lineman? Because I just went and I just recently signed up for the apprenticeship and all that stuff, and I hear it can take literally a year or 2 years to get in, and that it's pretty hard to get into.
Most of the time, I don't know how it works with the utilities up there, or if you're going through the hall or what, because you obviously got, it's real big, it's union or non-union work, whatever. But the whole line process, at least with ours, was we did a year of helper, but now I think they're going straight from apprenticeship in. But your apprenticeship normally goes in 6 month steps, or 6 months as they call them. So you can do your first 6 month, your second, your third, your fourth, your fifth, and your sixth. And progressively you do more, like once you learn how to climb and do all that stuff, like climbing the poles. And then when you come out, you can, once you turn like third 6 months, you are now considered a hot apprentice, and you can come up with like a journeyman like myself and go up and work primary, cutting the wires and doing stuff like that.
So you kind of, do you do like when they climb up to connect telephone lines and internet and stuff like that?
We go above them. They only go so high.
Bigger than those guys.
Yeah. They do the telephone, which is the first stuff you come up. We go to the very top and put the wire and up there, and
you go to the main wires along the height, right at the peak. Okay.
Yeah, the higher ones. I mean, normally our poles are anywhere from, the little service poles are 25 foot all the way up to, like, we got 65, 70 footers that we.
Yeah, I was in like when I was young, when I was like 14, 15, I was in jail, like in a juvenile jail.
Yeah.
And we used to do that. We used to train to climb they go, you gotta learn to do something. Yeah, we used to put those boots on your legs. They have like spikes, and you climb on them like that. Yeah, and we put the belt, and they used to teach us that. And they go, they didn't teach us how to connect the phone wires or anything, or the cable wires, but they're just teaching you how to climb the thing. They go, you need to start learning to do something for when you get out of here. You have something to for your future, like some type of knowledge, or learn something while you're here. Like.
Yeah, so that's sort of first 6 month apprentice comes out. It should be able to climb, do basic stuff, and then once you turn third 6 months, you have to pass all your tests in the process. But you turn third 6 months, now you're considered a hot apprentice, meaning you can do hot stuff. I think as a second 6 months, you can do like secondary stuff, like I think it's under 500 volts or something like that, 600 volts. And then once you get to hot apprentice, you're handling everything. Like our system goes all the way up to 35,000. And but
is that considered transmission, or?
That's our distribution. We distribute. Yeah, we distribute up to that. Right. At least here in Houston, because you got to go so far. But you'll learn underground makeup, or you'll learn. We take everything from the first pole right out the substation all the way to the house. That's what we work. Setting poles, building lines, stuff like that. And then of course, once you complete your 6 months, you are now a journeyman if you passed everything. And that's how it takes about, at least for us, since I was a year of a helper, then three years of apprentice, it was a 4 years. So you can imagine like a college degree kind of deal.
Okay. Yeah. It's a slow, because the more dangerous the job is, the slower the process, because they don't want to just throw you into something.
You could kill yourself or somebody. But but that way, you're successively learning different parts of the job, because all the different apparatuses are different parts of it. And then you come out, now you're a journeyman, and you can work. You're not going to necessarily go up. I used to, depending on the rules of who your utility is, we used to work primary by ourselves. Like I would go up in the bucket by myself and pull out wire and tie it into the knee pole while we had guys on the ground and stuff. Now they require us to have two, which is actually better, I guess, because sometimes you need to hold the wire while they do the tying in and stuff like that, because we're doing it hot most of the time.
Right.
You guys ever go crazy taking pictures and stuff? Because I have friends that work doing that. They're always posting on Facebook, like when they're in their new job site and so forth.
I did a scent of the day one time on top of a pole on one of the groups. How. So I just got on there, did a short video, and I sent it out as my scent of the day, what my scent of the day was. And
hey, but that's cool though. Like when you're taking pictures at work and stuff, and you're posting them on Facebook, you love your job because you're having a good time while you're there.
Yeah.
So how do you balance then? Doing reviews and all this stuff with lineman work? Because from what I've heard, you guys are constantly working overtime and long days, long hours.
Well, it was really hard. That's why my content hadn't been as consistent, because I probably work on average every year an extra 1,000 hours at least, because we work up to 24 hours a day sometimes, because the lights go out. So we, like the other night, we worked till like 9 o'clock, so it was a 12-hour, 13-hour day. But it's not uncommon to work 16, 24 hours in a given day, because depending on how the lights are going out, storms come through. So it is a little bit hard sometimes with that, especially I do like overtime. Obviously, I got to fund my habit, So, but it is a little challenging. That's why I would say I'm hard to tell on longevity because of the type of work I do. But it's intense for the time, but then you got time off. You just got to balance like anything else. I mean,
you guys you guys get paid by the, because I know there's different kinds of jobs. Like my uncle, and where he works, it's like because some people get paid by hour and some people get paid like on contract. Like whether you're working or not, you always get the same pay. And I told he told the way he explained it to me was like this. He said, if I do 40 hours, I get my check. He goes, if I do 10 hours, I get paid the same. But they could have me doing 50 hours and I still get paid like 40 hours.
No, we're all salary. I mean, we're all hourly, but it's based on how long we work, whether our hours are becoming double time and a half or double time. And then of course, the longer you stay working, the more your hours are double, and things like that. So that's where we make our money, is really when we get to the double time. Because if you're working, you could put in 40 hours of double time in a 2-week period on top of your 40 hours of straight time. You just got paid for 120.
Yeah, then you don't deal with rain a lot, so you don't have to worry about like, oh, it's been raining all month, so no work. Like, because
no, we work in the rain.
Oh, you work in the rain too?
Yeah, that's when the storms blow through and have to restore the lights, so we're out there in the rain.
Everything that went wrong.
Yeah, nothing stops us. Everyone needs lights, so whether it's whatever, we're out there working.
Yeah. You always need electricity going. I know in construction it gets slow when it rains. You can't like pour cement or do stuff like that because of the weather.
Yeah, we're on, and like storms normally, like I've gotten to travel around the country working on storm restorations and stuff. So that's been pretty cool. I've been up to Maryland and New Jersey, into the Carolinas. I went to Puerto Rico. Just working different storm restorations, depending on the utility or the co-op you work for, whatever you go with. They'll do mutual assistance.
Yeah, that's cool right there. What's up, Trey? What's up?
I was just gonna do a quick shout out. I didn't mean to interrupt you about that. Tell you my bad.
No, it's Trey Senses on. I like old Trey.
Yeah.
It's a great career.
Yeah, that's a good job right there.
Yeah, I've been looking into it. Like I said, I do utility line clearance, but I imagine that's got to be a lot different. Actually handling the lines and being up that front and close. We got our minimum approach distance. Which for the primaries, we're 2 feet 5 inches. Whereas I'm sure you guys are right there at the pole. Face to face with the line, and
yeah, we're touching it. When we're in the buckets, we touch it. You're actually putting your hands on the live wire. So, that's a normal.
All right, guys. They're calling me over here, so hate to cut it off right now. We've been on a good while. I wanted to do it 2 hours. We went, if anything, we went more. We went 2.5 hours. It was good. It was a good chat. We got a little off topic, but add variety. Just we don't want to talk just fragrance all the time. Sometimes you want to add get to know each other on a more personal level. Talk about other stuff.
If y'all ever need anything,
it was good. It was a good one. It's a good one. So we're not to in the stream right now, but where can they find you, Noah?
At Titan Fragrances on YouTube, or you can on Facebook. I do have a Facebook that's Titan Fragrance. That's probably the easier one for people to get, message me on. Sometimes I try to flip flop from my personal one. It's kind of hard right now. I got some that are on either or, and it's tough to stream. But yeah, my YouTube, I try to get to all the comments as best I can, and again, if people have questions on stuff, I try to answer them as much as I have time for, and I try to do 100% of the responses. But if y'all need anything, just feel free, holler out. Titan Fragrances for sure.
And what about you, Lincoln? Where can they find you?
Well, you guys can find me on YouTube at Lincoln J. Nunez. It's just my full name, middle initial, and same thing on Facebook, Lincoln J. Nunez as well. So same thing as Titan said, man. Is anyone ever wants to reach out, even just chat, randomly, get to know each other like you said. Sure, I think it's a great idea, So
Cool. Leave your share your channel on the comment section after this video is over. Go back to the stream, and in the comment section, just put your channel link. That way, people can go to the comment section and just click on it, so they could be sent to your channel.
Awesome. Yeah.
All right, check these guys out, man. They got great stuff going on in their channels. It was a pleasure having you guys here. Time just flew by. I didn't even notice how long we've been on. And don't buy Aventus, guys. It has too many good things going on.
Hey, y'all be blessed, man. Thank you.
Take it easy, people.
Shout out, Ken. Thank you.